It's Oscar weekend. I'm Austin Johnson,
I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
and this is a Filmgazm bonus. All right, we have our last Oscar-related Filmgazm bonus here. It's been so much fun. We did a big PSH episode. Philip Seymour Hoffman talked about his whole career. I had a blast. Let's see. We did a best animated feature film cup. That was a lot of fun. We did a best original song playlist. That was also a lot of fun. We did a best lead actress heist draft. Also very rewarding to go down memory lane and talk about some performances from some ladies that we love. And then last week we did the 47th Academy Awards Best Picture Showdown, Godfather Part 2, Chinatown, Conversation, Lenny, and Towering Inferno. That was awesome. Had a really fun conversation about Godfather Part 2 and kind of our revelation. It was really, really cool. But today is going to trump them all. There's no doubt in my mind. This is going to be the coolest bonus episode that we have done on this run. It's officially Oscar weekend. The 96th Academy Awards are in 2 days. And we're both super psyched. We're going to be hanging out, having some drinks, having some food. We're going to watch them together. Colton will be with us and a few others. So I'm like super stoked for that on Sunday. But today we get to do something that I've had fucking in my brain, just jumping around for about a year. I went back through our text, and yeah, it was like almost a year ago that I came up with this idea, and you were like, "All right, I mean, it's kind of far away, but I mean, sure, if you want to do that." And I stuck true to my word. I had this idea written down forever, and I feel like I've perfected it. I've kind of molded it into this thing that is super interactive. And if the listeners, you all, want to participate, you can. You can in your own way, and I'll kind of show you how you can do that. Because it's all about picking movies here, picking Oscar-winning movies in honor of course, Oscar weekend. So, you kind of know what we're doing here. You're prepared. Is there any questions you have before I fully unveil this project?
Not really. I'm excited for you to kind of just take the baton on this and just kind of lead this thing, and I'm gonna follow you. And I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. We got no fluff here. We're gonna jump straight into this project. So initially, what I had called it a long time ago was the dream screening. And I was like, how can we make this to where both of us are picking movies for different categories? And then I was like, oh my god, wait a second. There's like, the stars are aligning here. And as of right now, at the 96th Academy Awards, there are 23 categories. We are going to use 20 of them for this project. The three categories we're not using are, of course, the short categories: animated short, live action, and documentary. And not to say that those aren't valuable, they are. But for this project, we don't have nearly as much knowledge about those categories as we do the other 20. The other 20, I will go through them in a second. But to make this more kind of tangible, I wanted to name the theater that we're going to be building our screenings around. So the goal is we have 10 days of screenings, meaning we're going to play 4 movies per day. And Connor and I are building the schedule. The name of the theater, if you know, is Twin Pines Movie Theater. And what we're doing here is day 1 is visual effects and sound. So Connor and I both have to pick a winner from that category in the history of the Oscars. Now, when it comes to best sound, that includes a lot of different little niche things, sound mixing, sound editing. They've changed that category so many times or had dual stuff. Nowadays, it's just straight up best sound. So that's what we're going to use. But you can also, Connor, you can pick sound effects editing or sound mixing or whatever. Anything that has to do with sound can go, that has one, can go in that category. Day 2 is best costume design and best makeup and hairstyling. Kind of, 1-2 with the way we see the people, how they look. That's going to be that day. Day 3 is production design, underrated category in my opinion, and cinematography, one of my very favorites. Day 4 is best original song and best score. Fun day of music and movies. Day 5 is best documentary and best film editing. Could get serious that day. Day 6 is best animated film and best international film. Day 7 is best adapted screenplay and best original screenplay. Day 8 is best supporting actress and best supporting actor. Day 9 is best lead actress and best lead actor. And of course, the last day, day 10 of our screenings, is best director and best picture. Come on. this is going to be juicy. And if you're already off the top of your head, you're like Connor and I, you immediately, you hear best picture, like, oh my God, I can screen fucking Godfather, like that's where your mind goes. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. You go to the 90s, the 2000s, you got all these different movies that come to mind when you get to screen one best picture winner. So of course we're going to go in order. We're going to start with day 1, visual effects and sound. And Connor has a pretty intense list. He's stuck to his guns, and he's going to be picking a visual effect. I'll pick a visual effect. He'll pick sound. I'll pick sound. We'll go back and forth. Hypothetically, the way I kind of see it, if you have 4 movies playing in one day and you have one screen, as if you're like the New Beverly, Quentin Tarantino's theater in Los Angeles, you'd say play 4 movies a day. You got like 11 a.m. and then give yourself a big 4-hour window, depending on how long it is. 3 p.m., another 4-hour window, 7 p.m., and then of course a nice 5-hour window for the midnight screening, which is of course like the one that you get most amped for. So super fun. We're going to go back and forth. That's just hypothetical. This is the way we think about things, way more serious about movies than most people. But if you're listening and you want to kind of, write your stuff down, feel free. This is supposed to be interactive as it can be. And we're planning on trying to do something fun like this every Oscar weekend. Last year we did a best picture winners tournament. I'd say we're up in the ante this year.
Yeah, I'm glad we're, I think this is the first time we've ever celebrated every category, which is nice.
This is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Pick one winner that you get to screen. And you think about it, man. You think about getting that movie. You get to play it in front of all these people at your theater. A dream of ours is to own a theater one day. That would be really cool. It may not happen, but that's what dreams are for, man. You try to chase it. And so today we get to kind of bring that to life, what we have in our minds of under this criteria, under this context with the Oscars, we're going to pick some damn good movies. I tell you that. So if you don't have any other, things to say or any other questions, you can start with your day 1 screening of best visual effects.
Oh boy. Okay. So it was so hard to compartmentalize this.
Yeah.
To just
96 awards.
96 awards to narrow this down to, and I picked 3 per category just so I had backups.
Yeah.
But to narrow those down was tough to say, like, what, in my opinion, represents the pinnacle of best visual effects at the Academy Awards. Because that's
and for you get to pick first every time, so you don't really need backups. But it is nice to have those when we start talking. Maybe I pick one of them in a different category, right? So that is a good thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because let's say Parasite, for instance. Parasite can go into multiple screenings here, but once it's taken, it's gone. If you take it for international, I cannot take it for best picture. So that's where it gets a little strategic, which is why, again, you should have like a little bit of a list, a little bit of a pool.
Yeah.
But you do get to pick first. I'm allowing you to pick first every time. We have to go back and forth. There's no way to snake it when you have 2 fucking people.
I prepared this list for 2 situations. One, I get to pick first and I get all my favorites. Two, you pick first and I get to pick something that complements your pick. So I all of this works for either way.
Love that. Love that because I definitely when I wrote mine down, I was like, I'm gonna stay away from movies that Connor doesn't like because this is our theater. You know, I'm not picking all that jazz. He doesn't like all that jazz. He's not going to be proud to screen Bob Fosse's All That Jazz from 1979. So why would I screen it? I'll screen it at my own theater one day. What do they call it in Back to the Future? A single pine movie theater. I'll do that. You know?
Lone Pine.
Lone Pine. Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. That's great.
Okay.
Oh man, I love it.
So visual effects. I tried to think, what are visual effects in film that have lasted, stuff that looks amazing now as it did when it won? That's longevity. I think more so in any other category needs to be present in visual effects.
Mm.
So I chose Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest.
Oh, okay. I love that. That's a cool pick. 2006.
Yes.
Yeah, good. I didn't write that one down. That's a great pick.
Davy Jones alone, the fact that that effect still looks realistic and amazing and lifelike. I'm still blown away by that, and the Kraken, of course, and all the sea monster guys. It still looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, good shit. I like that pick a lot, dude. That wasn't on my radar. I actually wrote a shit ton down for visual effects, just based on when you pick first. I'm like, I want to be able to tag off of it.
Hmm.
And I really, really like that pick. Gore Verbinski's the man.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. I'm curious if I have a feeling one of my other choices is going to be your pick. I'm curious. Like, let's find out.
I'm sure. I mean, I have three that I'm looking at, closely, and I'm still deciding in my head right now. Dead Man's Chest is just one that kind of escaped me. As you know, when you're looking at, I said 96, it's 95 winners because we don't have the 96 winners yet. But when you're looking back at all these years and you're scrolling through and you're like, oh man, I love that. Oh fuck, I love that movie. Oh, that one's really good. That one looks amazing for its time. So I really like that you picked that particular one. And the people that were credited with that award were John Knoll, Hal T. Hickle, Charles Gibson, and Alan Hall for visual effects. So great pick. I'm fuck. This is a visual effects has a lot of favorites for you and I. It's a category that sometimes will shine a light on movies that don't go anywhere else. Some of these technical awards, but I go with my heart here. I got to go with a movie that I am obsessed with, and I would love to show people, and I'd love to see it myself on the big screen. That's 1993's Jurassic Park.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
that fucks up one of my other categories, but very nice.
yeah, I mean, just timeless movie. Still looks so fucking good over 30 years now, and it honestly looks better to me now than it than it ever has. It's that I remember we did an episode on it a long time ago. I think we've done multiple episodes on this through all of like the Filmgazm history, but three
Three.
three times. It's that good. It's that fucking good. And I think I've been on maybe one or two of those, and my favorite thing about Jurassic Park is that it's kind of this gateway movie where there's this kind of marrying of practical effects and CGI and starting to, okay, now it's the 90s. Now we're going to start seeing more computers come into play, but there's still like enough animatronics and, building actual things, building actual, the T-Rex and sounds, and doing all these amazing things behind the scenes. And, of course, Mr. Spielberg at the helm. I feel like it's kind of scary watching that movie because you can see what's to come. But right there in 93, they just fucking nailed it, marrying those two things. Like you can use technology and practical effects like for good, and I'd say Jurassic Park is the best example of that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You want realistic dinosaurs, you put your work in the hands of Stan Winston, and you can't go wrong with that guy. He might be the GOAT when it comes to visual effects.
Yeah, so good shout. Stan Winston, Dennis Muren, Phil Tippett, and Michael Lantieri are the guys credited with that win. Also won best sound and also won best sound effects editing. So that movie is no longer on the board. And you probably would have chosen it next, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was going to be one of yeah for sound. I had it, for the roars and the T-Rex roar specifically. Like the sound design of Jurassic Park is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. So yeah, I it was going to go in one of those for me too. So yeah, I'm, I'm glad it's here. We our first two screenings, me and you are going to be front and center watching Dead Man's Chest and Jurassic Park back to back. I love it.
Yeah, this is cool. This is beautiful. Yeah, I only picked movies I like, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
This is-
So, brings us to sound. What's
yeah.
your pick for best sound later on in day one? What are we watching?
So I am painfully torn between two of my all-time favorite movies here. Um,
Mm,
one of which
yeah,
can
I
only be
already
here.
I already know what's going on in that head.
Uh, and considering you called the theater Twin Pines Theater, I have to do it. It's Back to the Future.
Yeah, come on.
I wanted to be unpredictable, but I can't when I'm wearing a fucking Hill Valley Preservation Society t-shirt as we are recording this. It's who
Come
I
on.
am.
Yeah, you absolutely have to pick that movie. Movies like that are part of the reason we are doing this project.
Yeah. And it's a well-deserved winner. The sound design of Back to the Future is so unique and cool. The lightning strikes, the DeLorean's travel sound, the skateboard noises, like, and it's just it's a very unique, distinct. Like I can hear those sounds and immediately like know what film they're from. And the
Mm,
other one I was going to choose, same deal. But this movie, we all, if you've been listening to the show for any amount of time, you know my loyalty and adoration for Back to the Future. So
yeah, it's
enough said.
it's the fucking shit. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, it's our this whole project. Yeah, it's called Twin Pines Movie Theater. That's what we're doing. that's, that's what we're doing. Great pick. Man, this one's very hard. I have some. There's three that I'm kind of going through right now that I love all of them. Um, but I feel like this is early, but I just have to do it, and this is going to make the first day so fucking incredible. Because I feel like where it could be represented elsewhere, there's other stuff that we're both very into. So we're watching Whiplash day one, baby.
Oh shit. Okay. Wow. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's gonna force my hand.
first day is Dead Man's Chest, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, and Whiplash. Come on.
That is a fun day.
Tickets are only $5.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. Whiplash is yeah. I mean, like I said, it could obviously go elsewhere for a very big category later on day eight. But I want to screen it this early. I think it's a really cool movie to just like literally come out with a bang, and what they're able to do with the budget with this movie, how good it sounds. Obviously, very big music movie. I'm just head over heels for everything. It's one of those where I really, I watch it a lot, but it's one of the ones that I rewatch over and over that I have to like have really loud and have to be really ready for all the little squeaks and and every little you feel like you can hear the fucking sweat. It's just it's a technical feat, Whiplash, as well as a great obviously showcase for performances, great writing, just epic moments, and I love it so much. So to have it on day one would be really cool.
Milk the cunt. I agree.
Yeah, yes, so good. I mean, yeah, I passed up a couple movies I idolize, but maybe they can come back later. So that's day one. Day one is done. I love it. This is going perfectly. Day two, costume design. What do you got?
Costume design. Okay. This was tough. I noticed in um I haven't seen a lot of the costume design winners. And the ones I have aren't necessarily films I would have really chosen. Um I do have three here. I This is a film that could definitely be represented pretty much everywhere. It was a big one, and I love its historically accurate costumes and what costumes represent to the characters, and that is Gladiator.
Oh, good pick. Oh man, 11 a.m. seeing Gladiator. Come on,
It's never
come
too
on.
never too early for Gladiator.
No, never.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
the everything from the gladiator costumes to the Roman military costumes to the emperor to the senate. It's all so every level of ancient Roman culture is represented so beautifully with the costume design in this movie, and that's what I that that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I didn't really think about that one. Yeah, gorgeous movie. Obviously a Best Picture winner, and I don't think either of us were thinking about taking it for our Best Picture slot. So this is a good place for it to go. So here's the beauty of this theater is you get these Best Picture winners in other categories because they won other stuff. So we're getting all this like high quality shit. You know, this is hand. What does Ben Stiller say in Happy Gilmore? Like this is handmade quality shit. The quilts. Oh man, I really like that pick. I think that was a really smart one. And man, for you and I to see Gladiator in theaters, we were 5 when it came out, so that would be really special.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going with movies that, I want to sell some fucking tickets here. And there's some movies like, from the 40s that like, yeah, some like, some film snobs might show up with their, thick glasses and their scarves, but I want a conversation. I want a crowd. I want people to be like, "Holy shit, we're seeing Gladiator that today." That's what I want.
Okay, so I actually like that because then I can tag off that and be the guy who gets the where like only 4 people show up. So we sold the tickets for Gladiator. We're good. We're good. We can do what we want. And I am gonna pick one of those 40s movies. And I'm going with the movie that I talked about a couple weeks ago. I might have talked about it last week at some point. It's just one that comes up in natural conversation. I'm totally obsessed with it. I could save it for day 9, but I'll go ahead and take it now. And that's 1949's The Heiress. Uh,
Oh, very
this
nice.
is like this is the definition of a classic. Look at the gowns, look at the suits, look at the dresses, everything that's going into it. And while that's not the most interesting nowadays compared to like Gladiator or like last year, I think Wakanda Forever won, and that movie's like boom, like in your face, like look at all these amazing designs. I'm gonna choose kind of a classic film, but I also want to just fucking screen The Heiress because I love it and I want to see it in theaters. Call me selfish.
That's a cool pick. Yeah, there's some classics back, from back in the day that don't get nearly enough screenplay from modern day filmmaker. Like Draft House never shows a lot of that early stuff, and I really wish they would because I'd fucking go see it. There's certain movies where I will don my scarf and my thick glasses and go check that shit out.
Dude, to see the Heiress in theaters would be a dream. Won 4 Oscars, so it could have been chosen for a lot of stuff here, but I'm gonna take it for this one nice and early. And yeah, you know my adoration for this. I know you love it as well. We both discovered it through Oscar Sunday, a Filmgazm podcast, and we haven't stopped talking about it since. So let's watch Gladiator and The Heiress back to back. Why not?
That's a cool twofer.
Oh, the Heiress, if that's screening at like 2 or 3 p.m., you're gonna get the old crowd that's like, hmm. Like, I remember Olivia de Havilland, I'm gonna go, yeah, why not? Go check this out. Again, like 4 people.
I'm picturing some like 75-year-old guy who's like, "Oh yeah, Olivia, great cheekbones on that one. I remember that."
Yeah.
And then just like wandering in and just getting like, complaining the popcorn costs so much, and then going to sit down and being like, kind of just making old noises.
Oh, I love that. It's great. And then it's me and you in the next row. Yeah, we're
Yeah, we just
completely
look
in yeah, in a different fucking world. Yeah.
like,
Well, I have a feeling we're gonna change it up here for makeup and hairstyling.
yeah,
What
we
do you
are.
got?
So horror's never really gotten the greatest.
I I
Uh,
fucking knew it. Yeah. I
It's
knew it.
never really gotten the respect it's deserved over the years from the Academy, but the one place it consistently scores if it does get nominated is in makeup, because horror should realistically be taking makeup every single year. The amount of effort that goes into specifically makeup in horror movies is phenomenal and unforgettable. And the first movie ever to win this Oscar was a horror movie, and that is An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. You knew you're gonna. I didn't even write that one down. So I'm like, why would I? It's his. I didn't write Back to the Future down. It's yours. I'm not taking that shit.
It's
This movie rules.
1981. Rick Baker creates the greatest werewolf transformation scene in history that will never be topped because he did it entirely with animation and practical effects and gave us this fucking freakish transformation of man into beast that still looks absolutely incredible. He deserved that Oscar 100%, and I'm so glad that the first movie to win Best Makeup ever at the Oscars was one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Yeah, it's fantastic and it's really entertaining. Got funny, engaging, scary in the right moments. Just like a really advanced fucking horror movie. And yeah, I hadn't seen that until I met you, and I still think it's fucking amazing. So great pick, and we're doing a horror double feature here. I mean, we have to, dude. We had this is our chance. This is our chance to have a horror double feature at night at the Twin Pines movie theater that we can sell this. We can get the weirdos out. And of course, I'm taking 1986, The Fly. Come
Yes,
on,
yes,
come
that
on.
was my other one. That was my coin flip. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
this movie looks amazing. What they do with it is still beyond me. There's stuff that comes out in the 70s and 80s with horror that looks better than it does now, man. So, yeah, stoked to be able to have The Fly on the board here.
Quick aside, who would win in a fight? David Wolf or Brundlefly?
Oh, I gotta go Wolves. I gotta take the Wolves in this fight.
If Brundlefly is bitten by a werewolf, do we get like a werewolf fly
Oh,
thing?
I want to see that, but not. I want to see that like 1989, not now.
Yeah, I don't want it'll look like shit now. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I want
Uh,
Cronenberg and Landis to team up and make the weirdest fucking movie of all time.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Talk about Landis and Cronenberg. Imagine being like 16 years old. You never seen these two films. You go see them in theaters on a double bill. The doors that motherfucker opens, man. It could change a kid's life.
Yeah,
Fuck.
definitely, gonna fuck them up if they aren't careful.
Good. Good. Good.
Well,
Oh man. The Fly was only up for best makeup and it won best makeup. That's Chris Wallace and Stephen Dupuy. I think is how you say it.
no. Those
Pretty sure.
guys, turning a kind of a corny Vincent Price 50s horror movie with, ooh, it's a googly fly man, turning that into absolute grotesque body horror was pretty fucking admirable. Those guys' names should be known.
I totally agree, man. Totally agree. This is too much fun. So that's day two wrapped up. We have Gladiator, The Heiress, American Werewolf in London, and The Fly. What a day! Oh, go
I
from
want to
2000,
I want to do this. I want to run a theater and like go to
dude.
these screenings.
Yeah, fucking a, man. No kidding. It's just gonna get better. We're on day three, which brings us to production design.
Mm, production design. All
I
right.
wrote down a lot for this one. There's some bangers in production design.
You were right in that this is an underappreciated category. I think, people don't really think a lot about set design, despite the fact that they are inundated by it the entire time they are watching any film.
Correct. Yeah, it quite frankly is the texture of the movie.
Yeah, it's the foundation. It's the primer.
And that's like the first thing you notice if something doesn't look good, because you can deal with not the greatest actor ever, right? You can deal with not the greatest screenplay ever. But if it looks bad, it looks like they didn't care.
Yeah.
That takes me out of it like that.
I agree. Yeah, if your movie looks like a middle school play production of this movie, like why am I gonna get invested? Clearly you didn't.
Correct, which is why I love so many like the modern guys that I love. The PTAs, the Tarantinos, the Wes Andersons that really care about how Linklater, how every little thing looks. Where's the beer can at? Where's the ashtray? Where's the TV? What are the posters on the wall? Like everything matters. And that's why I love that generation of those guys.
Funny you should bring up Wes Anderson. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this movie has quite possibly the most meticulous and quirky and delightful production design ever made, the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, come on. This we got to screen this. This is 10 years old now, and I want to go see it in theaters again. Like I still remember that day. So good pick.
It's just the effort they went into to make this look as, lived in as possible. Just like writing, full articles in the fake country, I think what Zubrovka, I think it was called,
Yeah,
newspaper that is never gonna make it, like it's never gonna be seen on screen. It's just gonna be in a stack in the corner, but you just feel the effort. I don't know, it's like a subconscious thing. You just feel that they cared enough to put that kind of effort into building this world, and it pays off. The little things pay off. And this is Anderson's masterpiece for a reason. Uh, it's funny as hell and really unique and fun, but it's also just beautifully constructed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This had to get picked. If you wouldn't take it, I would have. It's this is it won a lot of stuff, but this is kind of where it belongs. I think.
Yeah.
You could make an argument for other categories, but yeah, just it's still it's one of those. We've done episodes on it. We've talked about it. At length. It's one of those where you just no matter how many times you see it, when you turn it on, like everything goes away. You put your phone down, you like your whole life is on hold because you're like in the middle of something really special. And that's why it's, to me, one of the best movies of the 2010s and maybe Wes Anderson's best movie. And, I wouldn't have had a problem with it fucking taking best picture that year. I love Whiplash, but I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, I love the options we had at that ceremony.
Oh yeah, it's not always that good.
Nope, nope. Ah, cool.
Okay. All right. I like that pick a lot. Damn. I have 7 written down. I kind of want to name them, but I also don't want to step on other shit. But I gotta go with my gut here because I do want to represent the category as I see it. Which is why I think you chose Budapest. I want to pick a movie that I think looks like every frame was taken care of, and that is 1976, All the President's Men.
Wow. All right. Interesting pick.
And these 70s, political, paranoia movies, I think are some of the best American movies ever made. And it was like such an interesting time. And this particular movie, when you watch it, you're like, why do they stack that many sheets of paper? Every little thing. You wonder about those things. Who did that? Like, whose job was it to place the books? Right now, I'm looking at the IMDb for All the President's Men, and one of the first pictures is Redford and Hoffman next to each other, and there's just this shelf of books behind them that looks like it's been abused and used over and over for decades. That's like real life stuff that I am obsessed with in movies, and especially from the 70s. So I want to kind of represent that decade and what I love about it so much, and just a fucking great movie. Super entertaining. I thought about using it later down the line for, of course, one of my favorite actors, but I want it here. I want it in production design. I want to shout out a movie that looks a lot different and got the award differently than other movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more everyday life kind of shit, rather than fantastical,
Yeah.
like a Budapest Hotel. What's great about Budapest Hotel though is that it kind of combines both those things. It's like very colorful, but also like that's how a bakery looks. That's how a hotel looks. All the President's Men, it's like that's how offices look. That's how it looks like when people are fucking freaking out over a major political disaster. And I'm obsessed with that movie. It'd be so cool to see it in theaters. Coming up on a 50-year anniversary in a couple of years, crazy. It is so good. So that's a hell of a double feature.
Yeah, for sure. That's a cool pick. Yeah, I didn't think about that. The idea of like capturing the power in the mundanity of everyday life with your set design. Like this is what the newsroom looks like in the set in 1976. Like I guess at this point it was like 1973 at the time. Um,
Yeah, I get what you. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
but yeah, that's really cool. There was one film I was pretty sure you were gonna take for this, and since
Fuck.
it only one art direction, I think I can go ahead and I was sure you were gonna pick Batman.
89 Batman. I have that written down. Yeah, I thought about it, dude, because that would be really cool. Like, there's might be our only chance to get a superhero film like that, unless of course, there's a heavy hitter later down the line. But you don't get that many chances to take a Batman, and it does look so fucking cool. Tim Burton's Gotham is so sick. So I definitely thought about it, man. I all seven of the movies I wrote down, which include Budapest, and of course all the President's Men. I love all of them, and they all look really cool for different reasons.
Yeah.
And Batman's spectacular. Talk about staging shit. Yeah, it just looks so good.
Yeah, right on. Uh, yeah, but All the President's Men is a banger, just a lesson in very real paranoia that happened to two guys who stumbled onto the biggest political scandal of all time thus far. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, very good shit. Good shout there.
yeah, love that movie. Oh, so good. Cinematography. Here we go.
Cinematography. This was the hardest one for me. Uh,
Yeah, dude. I love this category.
During our tenure of Oscar Sunday, I grew to appreciate cinematography and film editing more than I ever have. Uh, Cinematography. All right, I got three here that I think represent the best effort cinematography has ever had. And there's one guy here that to not put him here would be a crime.
Mm, mm.
But I don't think I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with my gut here and with a film that has been underappreciated for decades and looks absolutely stunning, and that is Road to Perdition.
Oh, love that pick.
Conrad Hall.
Good.
This was his final work. He died soon after finishing this, and the scene with Hanks and Newman in the rain alone. It's fucking art. Like it's pure art. It really is. It's haunting, it's devastating, it's emotional, it's powerful, and it defines the entire film, which the rest of the film obviously looks amazing too. And this guy was putting in a clinic with his last film. Uh, and Tom Hanks recently was interviewed and he said like Road to Perdition's one of his favorite movies he was ever in, and nobody ever talks about it anymore. And he's kind of bummed about that. So I want to talk about it more.
Yeah, I don't fucking blame you, man. This God, that's an excellent pick. And another one we were just too young to see in theaters, so let's go ahead and relive that. Yeah.
Yeah. Rediscovering this film has been a delight. It's become one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, I wish it should be counted amongst like the greatest gangster films of all time, and I don't know why it isn't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the reasoning is for that because it is fucking epic. And God, it should have been up for Best Picture. I just think that's so fucked up. Like, especially in a year where there's spots, there's spots it could take. So I really, really love that movie. I It might have gotten my vote for Best Picture, right behind Two Towers that year.
Yeah, if it was up there that year, it's my win. It's my pick for picture. It's for me the most emotionally powerful film that year, and a film that makes me feel every time I watch it.
Yeah, God, yeah, good shit. I'm struggling. I'm struggling here to which one to pick, dude. Because you mentioned a guy, but I don't really want it. I don't really want it.
I know the two wins he's got. Like, are they the picks? No, not
and
really.
I seen him. you know, I lived it. Which is I lived Whiplash and Budapest Hotel, but I don't know. There's something about those compared to the other ones that he did. Obviously, we're talking about Roger Deakins. I'm just not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. Man, this is hard, dude. I don't have a ton written down because I knew I was like, don't get out of hand. I do love me some cameras, and I love when a movie just looks amazing. I love when there's natural lighting. I love when there's tricks played on us. I love thinking about a guy who doesn't say a goddamn word, but is like, hmm, he just points and is like, I'm gonna shift things, and I like a good director cinematographer combo. I like a partnership. I like an understanding. I love that stuff. So I don't know, dude. This is like I'm taking this way too seriously. Fuck it. I'm going Robert Elswit. There will be blood.
Yeah, that's not a shock. That's pretty on brand.
Yeah, I got to. I think my problem with this one is I want it for other stuff, but you know what? I gotta take it while I can. One of my favorite movies of all time. Show me a movie that looks as good, and I'll buy you lunch. Looks as good as There Will Be Blood. It is spectacular. Elswit and Paul Thomas Anderson have a really cool partnership. Did some movies together, and I think There Will Be Blood is just one of the greatest. It's to me the signature movie of the 2000s, and we have to screen it. I didn't get to see it in theaters, so let me live that.
That is a beautiful double feature revolving around
Dude,
questionable morality, and I love that.
yeah, 2000s fucking gems. Yeah,
Our protagonists are a hitman for the mob who is betrayed and a unscrupulous oil man who will do anything to get ahead. There you go.
yeah, man, and yeah, we get some of the finest actors, on screen here. Not to mention, earlier in the day we had Budapest Hotel and All the President's Men, some superstars. Yeah, yeah. Blood. It feels right to have it here. It would be screening really late at night. Oh my god, I would fucking piss my pants if I could see There Will Be Blood at like 11 o'clock or midnight at a theater that I run. Come on. Yeah, this literally is a dream. These kind of things. Road to Perdition, There Will Be Blood for cinematography. Cool picks. I like it.
Very cool picks. Yeah, outside the box, I think too, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah. The Deacons thing, man. I don't know. I feel like we'd be cheating. No, I'm not saying they're not good movies. I'm not, and I know you're not either. It just is like there's other signature stuff that he should have won for or is better from him. I just think these two that we picked are more us.
Yeah, we're not stroking anyone here. We're picking our film. We're picking the films for our theater that are going to best represent our thoughts on the Academy Awards.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. That wraps up day 3. So we got Grand Budapest Hotel in the morning, All the President's Men, and Road to Perdition in the afternoon, and There Will Be Blood late at night. God, what a day. What a day. Day 4, Music Day. Best original song.
Oh, okay. Best original song. So I have only one here from the playlist we made in a couple past episodes ago. Only one of my picks was from that list. And I don't think
Okay.
it's the movie I'm going to choose here.
Interesting.
I think, it's let's go classic. Let's go back in time here. I think this is a perfect place to showcase The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Over the Rainbow is a beautiful song. Almost got cut because they were like, why are we still in Kansas? And the director was like, I'm like the 9th person to do this. Can you just shut the fuck up and let me make this movie? I'm paraphrasing.
But, that's how it went.
That's what Victor Fleming said after, being the latest guy to helm this sinking ship. And he's like, I gotta plug these holes, God damn it, give me some time. Yeah, and it worked out. It's almost, it's only one of the most iconic movie songs of all time.
And one of the most iconic movies, period. Yeah.
And a beautiful fantasy epic that's still fun as hell and quirky and weird and cute and whimsical and delightful.
Love this. Love this because I'm going old school as well. And you know exactly where I'm going.
I hope I know because I didn't choose this one deliberately because I was hoping you were going to.
Do not forsake me, oh my darling.
Fuck yes.
We're fucking screening High Noon, baby.
That was the other one I wrote down.
Has very little to do with the song. It really is just because I want to fucking show this movie. Come on, we're just getting high quality shit here. That's what we're doing, man. Wizard of Oz and High Noon during the day. I mean, come on. I'll just take my money. That's the kind of shit I'll fucking line up for. I would love to see those two movies on the same day, like before fucking lunch. You know. Oh man.
Yeah, beautiful. High Noon is it's there's an argument that it's the greatest American Western ever made, and it is so endlessly rewatchable and so engaging and well acted and well written, and the history behind it, its connection to the Blacklist is equally fascinating. And it pissed off John Wayne. That's just a bonus.
Yes.
John Wayne, who had to accept the award,
Accept it. Yeah.
Cooper, and was like, just want to thank, I'm sure Gary is so proud. Like, you can tell he's like, you communist bastard. Like, you can see he's thinking that the whole time.
Yeah, fucking commie. Yeah. Score one for Team Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Great pick. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I love High Noon. We talked about it, a couple weeks ago. Or I guess now 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it's just fantastic movie. Great song at the end. Yeah, it's got to be here. So, we'll continue our music day with Score. Oh boy.
Yeah, this was tough. I love a good film score.
Yeah. Whenever I asked you the question, I guess when we were doing the original song playlist, I'd asked you like what your favorite category is, and we both were talking about supporting actor and then original screenplay because we both love a good story that's from the dome. But score, dude, not necessarily taking into account what the Oscars have done, but just scores in general. Scores that haven't been nominated, that haven't won. I mean, this is mainly what I listen to.
Yeah.
If I listen to music in the car on the way to work or whatever, I mostly am listening to like the Moneyball score. I love music. I love, rock and roll. I love rap, jazz, all kinds of stuff. But if you go to my Spotify, it's mostly playlist coming from movies. That's just kind of how I am. So I think we both idolize this particular craft just as much as anything.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I've been lately the score I've been really deep into is, of all things, Halloween Ends.
Hey, the newer Halloween's got some, they got some bangers on those.
You know why? Because Johnny's back in town. Because Carpenter came back, teamed up with his kid, and was like, I got some ideas.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the movies Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Carpenter may have, this may be his greatest music he's ever made.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to argue there. That's the best part of it. Well, I actually really like 2018. I like it a lot. I actually love that one. Second two, I'm not like, I don't hate them, but I don't like them as much. But the music is always fantastic.
Yeah. I've already curried favor with the horror fans with American Werewolf. I can't throw it all away by praising Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends because they will come after me. At least one of them will fucking come after me, and I know you're listening, and you will.
You will.
But here's another thing for the horror fans. I picked Jaws.
Yeah. I didn't want to say this earlier because when we were doing best sound, but I'm like, come on, let's do Jaws. Jaws needs to be here.
It's gonna be here. John Williams has given us some of the greatest movie music of all time. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Superman, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. But his work on Jaws is something special. It's so creepy and so simple and just gives us, this perfect sound for dread in the water, for the unseen other lurking beneath the waves that is about to grab our feet and we don't even see it. It's perfect. And I love that Spielberg was like, that's hilarious, but what are you really going to do for me? He was like, are you kidding? That's what we're doing? And Williams was like, no, trust me, Steve. Trust me on this. And yeah, it works. Imagine Jaws without John Williams, and it's barely the same movie.
Yeah. he's just as much of a contributor as anybody. Yeah,
Yeah, 100.
to maybe the greatest American movie ever made. Yeah.
There is an argument there. It's so
Uh,
perfect.
yeah.
Fun fact, I once I was talking about this earlier today. I wear a lot of nerdy t-shirts, and I have a lot of like, shirts that just say like towns from movies. And I was wearing an Amity Island shirt, and this old lady asked me about like, "Oh, where's that? That looks like a fun place." And I decided I'm gonna have some fun with this. And I told her, "Oh, it's a beach community in New York, really fun place. I got a bit of a shark problem. But they're working on that. It's a damn shame. I lost my Uncle Quint in 75 to a great white." And
Jesus Christ.
and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." She's like, "It's okay. We weren't close." And it's just,
Yeah.
I decided to just go ahead and make up, tell her Jaws without knowing, because she clearly hadn't seen the movie.
Oh, how sad. That Roy Scheider is a bastard. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
You
Oh
just let him
man.
die. Just let him die.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, Jaws.
Uh,
Or there are obviously, there's two others I was really leaning towards here, but it's Jaws. It's one
yeah.
of the few perfect movies in existence. It really is.
Yeah, I'm glad you took this because I only wrote one movie down because I knew where I was going. I knew it the whole damn time. And what's great about it is, destiny may be real. It may be a real thing because I was taking a shower. I got home from work tonight, took a shower. I put my phone in the little speaker so I could listen to some music. I put my cinema playlist on Spotify, which is just strictly score pieces. And lo and behold, I hit shuffle. What's the first song that plays? A Familiar Taste, Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, 2010, The Social Network. I have to take it. It's the only one I wrote down. I of course Jaws is in my head. I'm not an idiot, but I thought about initially way back when we were doing this. I was like, oh, maybe I should shout out Ennio Morricone. Hateful Eight. I'm like, no,
Mm.
go with my heart. Go with the movie I love, the score I love, the one that I play the most, the movie I would love to see in theaters again because I still remember seeing it to this day, 14 years ago. Uh, I want to watch it again. I want to show it to the people, and to have a Jaws Social Network back to back is like, huh,
Yeah, two very different kinds of shark.
correct. And so really, none of this is planned, y'all. This day goes from Technicolor, Wizard of Oz. Whoa, look at what we can do. To classic cowboy shit, High Noon, Western shit. To like, oh, the greatest summer blockbuster ever, Jaws. To like a tour, 2010s, David Fincher. Like we've got it all. We've got it all on day 4.
There is something for literally every kind of film fan on that day. There really is.
Yeah, and if you're like us, you're like, I'm gonna see all of them.
Yeah.
Because why not? Oh man, that's great. I love that. That's a good day. That's a good day. Day 4. Wizard of Oz, High Noon, Jaws, Social Network. Good shit. Next, this is gonna be an interesting day. Day 5. Best documentary.
Okay. This was tough because I have only seen four. I have
Okay.
only four best documentary winners. Uh, Thankfully, I've seen some good ones, so I didn't have to, settle here. Um, this documentary comes from, I believe, the 1999 awards, One Day in September.
Good pick. Good pick.
This is such a fucking twisted story. It's the
Yeah.
story of the Munich massacre, where terrorists kidnapped and killed the Munich Olympic team. And this is the documentary about how that went down, negotiations, how they horribly failed, and everyone died. And just hearing, like they used a lot of archive footage from, news reports, and it was the Olympics. It's gonna be, there's cameras fucking everywhere. So it was documented very well, and it was just heartbreaking to see how this all unfolded, and how everyone was so like they could have done so much better. Like this could have been avoided. They could have saved lives, but people chose to react in really shitty, terrible ways that resulted in tragedy. Um, yeah, fantastic movie. Hard to watch at times, but definitely worth watching.
Yeah. I had a feeling I remember you when you first watched this, this is a while back, but you were telling me about it, and I had never seen it, so I went and watched it because this is right up my alley, this kind of stuff, and this is what the medium's for, telling these kind of stories. So,
Yeah.
very good. Highly recommend if it's out there, you have a chance to watch it. Buckle up, but definitely give it a go. It is, yeah, it's pretty stirring. I'll say that. I, that makes mine easier because I want to choose something that's gonna fucking lighten the mood a bit, or be a second option. Like, hey, maybe I don't want to, be sad. So I chose one of my favorite winners, a movie that I saw at a very young age. It's very long, so it's going to need a nice long window so that people can sit down and enjoy it. But I would love to see this in theaters. I think it'd be fucking raucous. I think it would be a sold out show. That's Woodstock from 1970, covering, of course, the famous music festival. All these amazing artists. It's incredible. It's incredible footage. You get to see, from Hendrix to Santana, to Joan Baez, to all these amazing people, and they're all in the same place. They're all in the same fucking vicinity, and I love it. I saw it when I was in sixth grade. I remember my buddy showed it to me. Well, my buddy's older brother showed it to me because I was starting to get into more rock and roll at that time, and it opened up doors for me for sure. And as I got older, I went and read more about what really happened at Woodstock, and it's not nearly as like flower powery as they show in this documentary. There's a lot more like crime happening and unprotected sex and people fucking spazzing out on drugs and overdosing. This documentary does not show all of that part of it. It's more about a celebration of what we can do as a people, as a community, as come together and like listen to music and be okay. But of course, when you have fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of people, some shit's gonna go wrong. That's just the way it is. So I know there's people out there who are kind of like, it's not the real Woodstock, but I do still think it's cool that music is at the forefront of this documentary, and to see people like see Hendrix like fucking wailing on the big screen would be really cool.
Are you telling me that unprotected sex happened at Woodstock?
Yeah, diseases flying around. Yeah,
that is a shock. That's gonna change my view of the '60s right there.
I would have thought that everyone would be using condoms. Yeah,
Yeah. Wasn't there like a sign posted like, hey, be safe out there, make good choices, don't smoke dope and wrap it up.
Yeah. That weed, stay away.
They call it dope for a reason. Oh my god. I'd love to see the Woodstock doc. I've not seen that one.
Oh yeah, you'd love it, man. Just so many amazing artists. Yeah.
The others
fucked up out of their mind. Like Santana, it looks like he talks about how he thought like the like neck of the guitar was a snake because he's just so fucking high.
I love that he played the fuck out of that snake.
Yeah, he did, and his eyes are closed the whole time, and he's fucking freaking out. And we're like, yeah, we're like celebrating that. It's really funny.
So I've only seen. I got to watch more of these. I saw 1945, I believe, The Vanishing Prairie. Basically, like, look at these prairie dogs, and oh, here comes the noble Indians, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's awful. Then there was Undefeated, which I watched
so good
for Oscar Sunday, which was I had no expectations for that, and by the end of it, I was in fucking tears.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
And then last year's winner, Navalny, which has a lot more poignant context now with his recent death.
Yeah.
Navalny's
something else, man. Yeah.
I almost chose that. I almost did, but I don't know what it was about one day in September that really just, I don't know, fucked with me because it was such an avoidable situation that if anybody had just thought about this shit for a second, it could have gone so differently. Yeah, and I have a feeling I know what this year's winner is going to be, and it's quite a vicious watch as well. So, documentary. You're either going to tell a fun story about a neat part of history, or you're going to fuck people up with facts. There's really no middle ground with this stuff. It's one or the other.
Typically, yeah, typically it's a crazy medium in this world of movies that we love, and you just get obviously some of the most real shit. And if you like learning, it's the way to go, man. Biopics and all this like written stuff is not the way to go if you like really want to know about what happened.
Which is, I was at a Goodwill earlier today, and I go to Goodwill all the time because you can find cheap shit for, good shit for a cheap price. And these two girls, they seemed to be, I think they were like between like 15 and 17. They were looking at books and they were picking up a book, and this one girl kept saying like, I can't deal with movies anymore. I just can't stay focused on it. Like, I think I'm gonna go back to books. I think I'm just gonna read now. And I'm thinking like, I'm proud of you for wanting to read, but also how dare you besmirch my favorite product? So like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I have such mixed feelings about this.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Doing the right thing, but for the wrong reasons. Damn it.
Yeah, like just do both.
Yeah, watch better movies. Damn it. Uh,
It's fine. Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
yeah. But yes,
Uh,
if you want to learn quickly and you don't like to read, a documentary is good. But I imagine if you don't like to read, you probably don't like documentaries either. So I don't know how to help you.
yeah. But yeah, I think just look at not just the winners, but look at the nominees. There's so many different kinds of documentaries represented through the Academy's history. They have nominated a lot of amazing docs that have really shook me to my core. So um, I'm grateful for that. I always look at them and I'm like, I'm gonna at least try to check these out.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
good category.
I've
Good
only really
category.
gotten into documentaries since I met you, and now I'm completely a devoted uh watcher. So yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries now. It's nice.
Yeah, dude, it's great. I love it. I mean, you really do have direction in it, and editing is like a huge part of it. You take something like as epic as Hoop Dreams, the
Mm.
editing the editing for that documentary is massive to really make it work and make sense and be as effective as it is. God, that movie that wasn't even up for like it was up for film editing, but not documentary. I don't get it, Academy. Don't get it. Anyways, speaking of film editing, that's our next category for day 5. What do you got?
This was tough. This was a category that I kind of had to figure out as we went along with the podcast at the time, because when you're first starting out with this shit, it's hard to kind of judge what good editing is. And then we visited the Academy Museum and learned about sound design and film editing, and like I started to kind of picture like, okay, so this is how it works. And with that, my pick is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I knew this was coming. Great pick.
They had to edit together live action and animated segments into a coherent film that worked simultaneously, and that is fucking fantastic. And the fact that it looks as good as it does. Uh, that's
Yeah, fucking almost 40 years ago now.
Yeah, it's such a fun movie, and it's so well constructed. It's got a great, neo noir story going on with, Disney and Warner Brothers characters just kind of filling in the gaps with a great villain and a great hero. And, it that could have been such a disaster, such a flop, such a terrible idea executed horribly. But you put it in the hands of Robert Zemeckis, and you're gonna get some fucking gold.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
This out before in between Back to the Future 1 and 2. You cranked out Roger Rabbit.
That's like Francis Ford Coppola doing conversation between the Godfathers. Like,
This is
yeah, why
this is Robert Zemeckis' conversation.
it's Two Frame Roger Rabbit. Oh, I love thinking about the movie in that context. That is hilarious. I wish Gene Hackman was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That'd be great.
Eddie Murphy almost was, but he was like, "That's a stupid idea." And then he saw it, and he's like, "Why the fuck didn't I say yes?"
No kidding. Yeah, all time classic. A lot of fun. You, me, and Caleb did an episode on that on Oscars Sunday a long time ago, right?
Yeah, we did. That was a blast.
Yeah, yeah, great stuff. I believe we did like a top 5 Zemeckis
Yeah.
for that, and yeah, ended up being really cool, or a draft or something. I don't
I
know.
think we did a draft, and I was gonna basically jump through my computer and strangle whoever took Back to the Future away from me.
What did I take?
I
If,
don't
if I
remember.
didn't take if I
I'm
didn't
pretty
take
sure I ended up
future,
with Back to the Future. I'm pretty sure.
you did. I might have taken Roger Rabbit, or yeah, I don't remember. I have to go back and listen to that. I'm actually curious, like, what did we all pick?
I
uh,
I feel like did we all end up with a Back to the Future?
that would make sense.
Yeah. Then you got your Romancing the Stone, you got your Used Cars, Polar Express, Christmas Carol. Like he's got a Gump. He's got quite a good resume.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's got solid stuff.
Yeah.
Some underrated gems as well. Okay, well, I'm picking a very different movie. This is a weird day. Day 5 is weird. But hey, we got something for everybody. I'm gonna pick a movie that you might have not thought about for this category, but once you hear it, you're gonna be like, oh fuck yeah. This is an Oscar Sunday classic. This is a movie we watched for no, we did an episode on it. I think we did an episode on it. Like early on, ambitious. Or did we watch it for something? I don't know. You'll remember. I'm sure one of us will. Early on, though, I remember we talked about this movie. We both were like, "Fuck, that was good," and that is the Costa Gavras directed Z from 1969.
That was its own episode. We did yeah, because it was the first ever Best Foreign Film winner to be nominated for Best Picture.
That's right. Good
That was
call.
Spotlight. Yeah, I remember that, and we were both kind of like, whew, and that's a good pick, man.
Yeah, we talk about having to edit the shit out of something to make it interesting with interviews and action sequences, interviews, boom, boom,
Not
back
to
and forth.
mention with like multiple governments breathing down your neck.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. How this movie was even made is a fucking miracle. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it fucking rocks, and it would be really fun to watch in a theater. Really, really rewarding to watch in the theater, just because it's got such an epic scale to it. And I'm so glad it won film editing in the 60s, at that, or I guess 1970 is technically when it won. But at that time, we were starting to see some real shit happen with the Academy, with movies in general. We were starting to see some real ballsy shit go down, and at the end of the 60s and into the 70s. So it's my favorite era for this kind of stuff. And I'm really happy to have this movie. And to finish out day 5, we got One Day in September, Woodstock, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Z.
It's like,
What a weird day.
you know what it is? It's like Roger Rabbit is Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut wandering into the sex party knowing he's not supposed to be there.
It's like, man, what the fuck is going on? Yeah.
That's some Fidelio action right there.
I'm in, man. I'd see all this shit. So be so much fun. I love like the range, if we go from 99 to 70 to 88 to 69, that's really cool. So that's a good day. Before we do our next day 6, I want to take a short break because we're halfway through. We're back with our second half of this Twin Pines movie theater calendar. Day 6, animated film.
Mm. Animated film. Okay. So we this might be the easiest one to call for us. I'm just considering we pretty much did this already. Um, Shrek.
You're going Shrek. Yeah. Yeah.
Shrek, it's just such a perfect animated, first film to win that. It's a fuck you to Disney. I love when people stick it to Disney. And it's lasted as this, hilarious comedy that's, a heartfelt love story and a great family adventure.
Yeah. And it's the first animated winner. It's a great film. We were 6 years old when it came out, so it'd be really cool to see it in theaters, because I did see it in theaters, but that's a long time ago. 23 years ago. So I'd like to see it again. I love that pick. And you know where I'm going. And you know what? Justice justice will be served because Deakins is back, baby. Rango, 2011.
Good. All right. Good.
We got you, Roger Deakins. It's going to be okay. Gore Verbinski, second movie on the calendar here. Who would have thought that Gore Verbinski would be the first guy? I think he is the first guy to have 2 films on the calendar. Yeah, Rango is my favorite animated winner. It's probably my favorite animated movie, period, outside of a Goofy movie. Love it to death. It's the only one I wrote down. I just knew the whole time this is going to Rango. I saw it in theaters, but again, this is a long time ago. I was 16 when it came out, so I did not appreciate it enough at that time.
Yeah.
And here I am. Here I am. It's become one of my go-to movies when I'm feeling down. Rango.
Beautiful. So considering that the animated winners largely did not score anywhere else, what were some other ones you considered if you want?
Spirited Away.
Okay.
To see that on the big screen would be really neat. Draft House will do that. You know, they'll do some of the Miyazaki films here and there, and I had a chance to see Princess Mononoke, and I didn't take it in a employee screening at the Draft House we worked at, and only 2 people showed up.
Ah,
You know how like we got to make picks, like we pick our own movies. Remember that?
I never bothered because I remember hearing that the list was like so long that I was never.
It was. I was on it, but I was like, yeah, like the 30th person. But I remember Eli. He was a guy who worked there. Really cool dude. He finally got onto it. And he was like, dude, like Mononoke, it's happening tonight. And I was like, I'll fucking be there, man. You know, like I can't wait to see it. And I just forgot. I just like it's time. I was an idiot.
Oh man.
Just really sad because I love Princess Mononoke. But yeah, if we're talking about the winners, yeah, Spirited Away, Incredibles. I like those earlier ones just because I was so young when I saw them in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Finding Nemo, like I was so young when those won, and it'd be nice to see those again because it would be like, oh, whoa, like a full circle moment. Whereas like Toy Story 4, that just happened. So I don't feel like I need to see that in theaters again. Whereas Shrek makes more sense.
I had The Incredibles, and of course I had Coco.
Yeah, see, you didn't get to see Coco in theaters because
I didn't. But thankfully, I am surrounded by fucking Alamo draft houses that play a variety of pretty much everything all the time. So I probably will.
One day it'll happen, man. It'll happen. It's already 7 years old, so insane. At the end of the year, I think it came out like in November of 2017. So yeah, Coco's great. But yeah, seeing Shrek and Rango back to back, you're gonna laugh a lot. This might be different. International film.
Ah, well, one of mine has already been snaked with Z.
Oh,
And another category I really have not seen that many from, which I am slowly starting to rectify. Thanks to you and the show, I've seen a lot of the honorary ones from early on, like Rashomon and Bicycle Thieves and whatnot.
I think those count.
Yeah, so do I. I didn't pick any, but I do think they count as well.
Okay, good. Oh, you picked the big one, didn't you?
I might have.
The big one.
I'm torn between 2, actually.
2 recent ones or what?
Yeah, 2 recent ones, yeah.
Enough said.
But we're choosing. So this is a category that represents the best of film from around the world. So I can't not choose Parasite.
I love it. I love it.
We've gushed about this film so many times. It's just such a fucking, it's like Bong Joon-ho somehow managed to shove a painting into the film reel and made it work. I don't know how, but he did. And yeah, every time I watch it, I'm more impressed. I don't even really, I've gotten to the point where like, I know it's going to sound pretentious, but I don't care. I don't even hear another language. I'm so in tune with the story that like the subtitles are more than enough, and I'm just focusing on this story unfolding. There literally is no more language barrier for me when it comes to foreign film, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds awesome. I couldn't agree more. You know, I idolized Parasite and what it's done and what it did. Now it's gonna be 5 years old here this year, and what it did for the Oscars and what it did for Korea, what it did, for Bong Joon-ho, what it did for just fucking movies, man. You know, how excited people got that wave. I'll never forget that wave that happened. and being a part of that, like getting on board and riding with it. Very similar to Everything Ever All at Once, just that like boom, like you can just feel it. Like, dude, people love this movie. Not only is it really good and really spectacular and really advanced and just dynamite, like people, just general people love it and are connecting with it, and that is something to behold. So no, it's a great pick. And were you flirting with another round?
I was.
Wow, that I don't have that one written down, but man, that
Was
would have touched my heart.
was I flirting with it? That is great terminology.
Yeah, were you like Parasite? There's
I was
there's another woman.
I was at the prom. I was gonna ask out the woman I love, but then another one caught my eye, and I thought just for a second, like, should I? But no,
Yeah.
it was not to be.
Man. And you heard the
Yeah, drunk ass Mads Mikkelsen walked into the party in Sissy Strut, and I thought, but
maybe. Oh man, yeah, yeah. Another round would be a cool pick because we didn't get to see that in theaters. It's at the height of the pandemic and came out in 2020, and I believe came out on Hulu, and yeah, just completely swept me up like so fast when I saw it. Maybe my favorite movie from that year. And the movie that I wish would have been up for Best Picture and I wish it would have won the year that Nomadland won. But
I'm happy
that's
that
okay.
just for his efforts, Vinterberg took home something.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, no, he's the man. And like I've gone back and watched some of his older stuff. That guy is a fucking genius. He's great. So yeah, I love that movie. But I figured you're going Parasite, so I'm gonna pick something older. Uh, I am gonna pick a movie that we watched on Oscar Sunday, both of us for the first time. It's not Rashomon. It's not Bicycle Thieves. It's Francois Truffaut's Day for Night.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was Truffaut was the guy who finally sold me on French New Wave cinema because I'd been stuck in Godard and I was like, fuck this. But Truffaut, he got it, man. He understood storytelling and like, I gotta get the rest of these people on board. He did it.
Yeah, Truffaut's the man. Day for Night rules. Great movie. Like just great. So entertaining. Another one of those where if you just put your walls down and allow yourself to just immerse yourself into it, it's another one of those that breaks the language thing. It breaks the barrier. You're just watching a great movie. It doesn't matter what's going on. And I love that. I love when that can happen. As kind of like you said, as it can be pretentious or it can be sound silly. I don't think it does. I think it's real as fuck. And I I own this movie now. I love it to death. And I'm so glad we chose to do it on an episode, even though you were like, damn it. We walked away like we both like that. Fuck yeah.
I I don't think I ever like specifically said like no, we're not gonna do that to any episode because I wanted at the end of the day, I knew that your passion for it was gonna bring us through, and I was willing to open my put my guard down and give all this shit a shot. And I'm so glad I did because a lot of those films I ended up becoming like genuine favorites that I look back on fondly.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, likewise. A lot of these we're going in blind together, which was what was so interesting about it. And I mean, yeah, and that not only does Day for Night rule and would it be awesome to see on a big screen, it gave us 400 blows.
Yeah.
Neither of us had seen that from 1959. Masterpiece, like unbelievable movie. It's as good as the people say. People have it on these lists, these top 10 lists of all time, and this and that. Like it lives up to the hype. It's really fucking good, and like made me go on this really crazy Truffaut just kind of jaunt. And I ended up watching a bunch of his shit on Criterion throughout a couple weeks, specifically films that star Jean-Pierre Laud, who's also in Day for Night. The guy's a fucking awesome performer, and yeah, I love that movie. It's one of those where like it's impossible for me to have seen it in theaters, so it'd be really special to have that moment and also expose people to it or get fans who are like, oh hell yeah, like we get to see Truffaut on the big screen, like bring it on, you know. That's where like the weirdo, the cinephiles come out to play, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll never forget, watching the 400 blows. I went in, I put it on thinking like, all right, let's just get through this and then we can watch something we want to watch. But then I got into it. I was like, wow, this kid's really getting fucked over. And like, oh, I started, really caring about this. And I had a Goldblum moment where I was like, you did it, you son of a bitch, you did it.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Truffaut is an auteur to the nth degree, but he is really good at being engaging and really good at keeping you on your toes and like keeping like on the edge of your seat, like what the fuck is about to happen next to these people?
my favorite thing about Truffaut was that like he got in an argument with Godard and called him like a pretentious fuck or something. And
Yeah, they wind up hating each other. Yeah, that's a whole nother
I was so
thing. And
happy.
we
I'm like, Francois, I'm on your side. Like, and you have
Bonsoir.
onto yours.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jean-Luc. Yeah. I like Godard, but I like Truffaut more. And so I totally get it. I totally understand. Uh no Godard movies are going to be showing up here. um,
Nope. Mm-mm.
all right. Day 6 is fucking awesome. You get to see Shrek, Rango, Parasite, and Day for Night. Bring it on. Day 7, screenplay day, writing day.
Ooh.
First, we're doing adapted. What do you got?
Adapted. This was I, as a writer, I love a good screenplay.
Hmm.
I look for, I collect
Yeah.
screenplays. I've got a few. I want to. If the screenplay doesn't work, the whole fucking film doesn't work. You need this has to be the beginning of the process and the end of the process, really. Um, and adapted's tough because you're taken from somebody else's work, trying to make it into your own. There's usually a fan base that's loyal to the work. Otherwise, why would they be making a movie out of it? And those are the people who are going to be the most vocal about your product. And if they don't like it, they're going to make it known. And that can really fucking disillusion you. Thankfully, sometimes you can get the writer of the book to just go ahead and make the screenplay, and that's what happened with The Exorcist.
Oh, the build up to that was fucking dope. I loved that.
Oh my God. And I read this book, and I gotta say, well done, Blatty. Good job. Uh
Mm.
Thankfully, yeah, he cut all the piss and shit out of the movie. I'm very grateful for that. Um and yeah, the movie, seriously, the book smells. But it it's such a vicious, unforgiving movie about evil and what it can do to families. And Blatty adapted his book to the best of his ability. He paired with Friedkin, and you just got this horror masterpiece that gets better with every viewing and has stood the test of time. It was the first one I wrote down. The other two I picked would have been really good, but this is special for a horror film to win screenplay. It's only happened a couple times, actually 3 times, I think, and this might be the best one. So yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man, great pick. Love this. Would love to see this on the big screen. My God, be totally geeking out. I love the amount of horror we're able to get on here, and genre stuff. Parasite. That's all awesome as well. So, oh man, I had that one written down. I did. Man, this is hard. It's because we only have 8 categories left, and now I'm like, I better pick the ones I want. And not because because if you pick them out, who gives a fuck? They're getting screened at the same theater. It's more about I don't want them to get left out. I don't want to not
Ever
screen these.
ever since you, me, and Adam did the top 10 2010s thing, and we all three just left out Moneyball because we thought, oh, the other guy will have it. Ever since
Yep.
then, I have learned a lesson. Go with your gut, pick what you want. So yeah, I'm not letting that happen again.
God damn. Okay. Fuck it. No Country for Old Men.
Yep, that makes sense.
2007. No Country. I have it written down in multiple multiple categories. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I want it. I want it screened really bad. I did not get to see this in theaters when it came out. I want this movie bad. So, The Exorcist and No Country are getting a adapted double feature, which is yeah, it's pretty fucking sick.
That is a cool double bill. You know, two very different but also weirdly similar kinds of evil. Just
Oh
just consuming a situation beyond anyone's control. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
yeah, dude. But man, it's hard. It's hard. This is hard. this is getting. This is getting. You know, it's like we were just having fun. The Fly, Road to Perdition. You know, and now we're like, ah, fuck.
You know what it's
No.
like? It's like you're making like a sign, like a big happy birthday sign, and you wrote happy, and now you don't have any more room for birthday because you wrote it too big. And you're like, shit, I didn't think this through.
Yeah. yeah. God damn it. Yeah, you know, and No Country, you know, this is our guys, the Coens. This is them adapting the Cormac McCarthy um legendary stuff, you know, and maybe depending on who you are, maybe their best movie, the Coens, and my favorite's probably Lebowski, but I can yeah, this is it's a masterpiece. It's one of their probably like four or five in my opinion, but uh, I love it to death. It gets better and better and better with time, just like The Exorcist. So I'm excited to see what kind of life No Country has, you know, 30, 40 years from now, the same way like The Exorcist has now had over 50 years of breathing and living and people being obsessed with it, generations being obsessed with it. I think No Country is going to have a similar life in that way. So great movies. I expect the original screenplay picks to be just as good.
Yeah. Well, from adapted, I had one movie from the 50s and I had one movie from the 2000s, but I won't say what they are in case they pop up later. Uh
50s.
oh yeah. It was a movie I knew was going to be good, but then I was like, fuck, this is so ahead of its time and viciously cruel that I was like, this is brilliant. Uh I'll share it when we're done.
I can think of the more recent one. I can't think of what the 50s one would be because I don't have a list of them in front of me. All right, well, we'll get to that later. Yeah. Maybe it'll pop up. Yeah, original. What do you got?
I have three of the most incredible films I've ever seen here, and
Same. I wonder if they're the same three.
I that would be kind of fucking miraculous. I know at least one of them is definitely on both our list here. Maybe two. But the third one is the one I'm leaning towards the most. And I didn't expect to feel that way, but here I am. And I think giving this film a shout and seeing this on the big screen would be delightful. And I think I'm gonna do it. It's Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Cool pick.
Yeah, I
Cool pick.
I've seen that movie like four times now, and it's just such a delightful family drama, dramedy with an amazing cast and a really heartfelt story about a bunch of kind of narcissists putting down their guards and realizing that other people matter. And I love it. It's so funny, it's so quirky, it's dramatic in all the right places, and it's the perfect like little indie film that could. And I'm so happy it won that award.
Yeah. Little Miss Sunshine rules. That is not one of the ones I have written down, although
Yeah.
I do idolize it. I have three written down. Two of them can only be this.
Yeah, mine
One
too.
of actually all three of them can only be this that I have written down.
Sunshine had Arkans win, so that had yeah. But
Yeah, but I don't have that one written down though.
I know. I'm just thinking of mine too, because I think the other two I have are also two that you have.
So we can name them and we can pick together. Let me make sure. I know two of them. This is it. This is the only possible way they can get in, and I'm like, really? I gotta choose between these two fucking things. One of them I feel like is a little too obvious, so it's kind of like pushing me away from it. Like I don't want to be that bro, you know.
Yeah.
One of them was up for 11 Oscars, only won one. A movie we talked about last week,
Hmm.
and the other one is. Let me make sure. I'm almost 100% that I'm right about this one, but let me make sure. Yep. One of them is seen as possibly the greatest film of all time from like 90 years ago. So Citizen Kane, Chinatown, and Pulp Fiction.
Shit. All right. I had Chinatown, Pulp Fiction, A Little Miss Sunshine.
So Pulp Fiction is the bro pick.
Yep, and Chinatown
It's
was
the
was kind of like I think he should that should be for him.
probably it's what I'm going to pick. But man, I'm looking I'm looking down the barrel of the gun, and Citizen Kane is like, "Come on, bitch, pick me, pick me. You like Mank? Pick me." you know, and of course, because it's so goddamn old, it would be really fucking cool to expose people to that in a theater.
Yeah.
But my favorite of the three is Chinatown. I love Chinatown so much. I have to pick it. I just do. I just have to pick it for original screenplay. I think it's like one of the most genius original movie stories ever told. I think it'd be really cool to see Rango yesterday and Chinatown today.
Yeah.
So I have to. I have to go with like what my heart is. I love Pulp Fiction. I feel like it is a little too obvious, and it's one that you can see. Theaters show it all over the damn country.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Chinatown's gonna be a little harder to get to. So sorry, Citizen Kane. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, forget it, Austin. It's Chinatown.
I have to stop using that. out of out of control. My wife hates me when I say, forget it, Brianna. It's Chinatown. or I'll use it for like, forget it, Brianna. This is Target.
I can see like you showing up at my door with like a duffel bag, and I'll just be like, "Yep, I figured."
Too many Chinatown quotes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
An honest living, I tell you. An honest living. Yeah. All right, come on. Look at me. I gotta pick Chinatown. It's gotta be. It's the only Oscar it won. It's same with crazy. It's crazy that Pulp Fiction, Chinatown, and Citizen Kane all have one thing in common, and they only won original screenplay. Bonkers. Right? Pulp Fiction didn't win anything else, did it?
No, didn't win anything else.
It's just Tarantino.
Yeah. It was up for a bunch, but Forrest Gump was there too.
Yeah. God. What's really sad is we can't talk about Shawshank. That's really sad.
I can say this. I got to show my cousin Ryan The Shawshank Redemption 2 days ago. He'd never seen it before, and he fucking loved it. It was delightful watching him. He knew nothing about it. He didn't know.
That boggles my mind.
The ending, he was legit like, oh my God, like he was legit shocked, and I was so happy.
Yeah, I can't imagine, dude. Like, sometime, how old is he?
Like 21, 22.
Okay, perfect. Because today I was talking to this guy I've gotten close to at work. He's 23, and today me, him, and another guy, this other guy who's 30. I'm 29. We're talking to Matthew. We're talking to him about like rock and roll, and he's like, "Man, I don't know shit about like I don't know anything about it, like 70s, 80s, or whatever." And the 30-year-old guy's like, "Well, like I'll give you some bands to listen to, And the first band that the 30-year-old named was Queen. And Matthew's like, "Who?"
Oh my God.
I'm like, "What? I was like, "What do you mean who?" Like, say what again?
How do you go your entire the first half of your life completely avoiding Queen?
Yeah, and so I like looked around. I was like, "Are you like serious?" And he was like, "No." Like I was like, Bohemian Rhapsody. Like you've never heard that song. And the other gentleman started playing it, and he's like, "Nah, like I don't even know what the fuck that is." And I was like Freddie Mercury? You've never heard of Queen? And he's like, "Nah." And I'm like, "They're like one of the most popular bands like ever, like in the entire world." And he's like, "Well, I've never fucking heard of them." And I'm like, "Whoa." And I looked at this guy next to me because he's laughing, and he's a little bit older. He's maybe in his 40s. And he's like, "I get it, man." He's like, "They were like a popular like 40 years ago." I was like, "No, they're popular now. Like, people love Queen." I was like, no. Just because you're older and you like grew up with them doesn't mean you get to no. Like, they're popular right now. Like, they had a movie made about them a few years ago.
Yeah,
like
$900 million box office, by the way, on that movie.
Like everyone knows easy come, easy go. Like, everyone knows that song. Like almost to the point where like I'm annoyed by it at this point. It's like I was so shook. Like, and so Shawshank is the same. It's like, what? How have you not? I mean, I'm sure he's heard of it, but doesn't know anything about it. It's like,
Well,
wow, what a place to be in.
funnily enough, Ryan's like big interest is music, so he knows Queen.
Oh
But
well, yeah, I'm sure he does. I know he's really into that era as well. Yeah.
is this guy like deaf for most of his life, and he had an operation like 6 months ago, and now he can
No,
hear?
he's a great guy. I really like him. He's a big basketball guy, so him and I get along with that. But I feel like you have to put in effort to avoid Queen.
Right? I mean, every radio station, every like commercials, movies, fucking trailers for the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Like, really, nothing ever.
Yeah, just like nothing. Queen, nothing. Like
Miraculous.
there was like no files in his head on Queen. I'm thinking about in his head the little guys that are like running around his brain like
Yeah,
fuck, I can't find it. uh, oh
crazy.
man, don't stop me now. It was hilarious, but that's so funny how like you and I we think about this kind of stuff non-stop. We're like just trying to jam our heads with like pop culture. That when I hear someone else who doesn't know something as like basic as that, I'm like, wow, what? That's incredible. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and I know it's going to happen to me at one point. Like, I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
eventually
yeah.
we're going to
I
be on
think
those
I
TV.
think about that. I'm like, oh fuck, yeah.
Yeah. I'm every time, a lot that happens with me with TV a lot. A lot of TV shows bypass me, and then I'll be talking to somebody and I'll have never heard of some huge thing, and they're like, "What? You didn't follow this TV show for 12 years?"
Yeah, that's happened to me a few times with some like modern music and some TV for sure. Where I'm like, wait, that got made. I stay out of the loop with some stuff, by choice, but I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know. I feel like if a band now is as big as Queen has ever been,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm not going to know about it just from being like hearing, you know.
I thought 21 Savage was a lot like a clothing store.
Oh yeah, he's a rapper. Yeah.
I know that now, but at the time I was like, I'd never been there. What?
Yeah, see, he's that. There you go. He's pretty famous. Like he's pretty popular. I would be amazed if someone like your cousin's age didn't know who that was.
Yeah, I
Maybe not your age, but yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's weird being out of the loop of like modern popular culture to some extent. Like outside of film, I really am kind of out of the loop. Like I don't really follow popular artists anymore. It's I'm pretty much reserved to what I like.
yeah. Well, there you go. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm the old guy now.
Yeah, old guy on the block. Yeah, and it's okay. I can feel us like we're about to get to like a even more serious conversation with these next 3 days on our calendar. We're like, what else should we talk about so we can avoid but day 7, we just wrapped up screenplay day. Day 7, The Exorcist, No Country for Old Men, Little Miss Sunshine, and Chinatown. Great day. Day 8, supporting actress.
Oh boy. Okay. The acting ones were tough because I'm trying not to pick the performance here. I'm picking the movie. However, I'm picking the movie based on the strength of the performance. It's a decision that's eating itself. So it's hard. Um, and ultimately, this was the hardest one for me to pick because I think a lot of supporting actress wins have been incorrect.
Yes,
A lot of these are,
especially recently. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of them are either career wins or like a 15-minute appearance that really doesn't warrant a win here. Um, so ultimately, the film I chose is Rosemary's Baby.
God damn it. Yeah, well,
Uh,
I'm glad you picked it. That's yeah, Ruth Gordon. Come on. Yeah.
Ruth Gordon's win as Minnie Castevet, this creepy ass Satanist who's just there to make sure everything goes smoothly for the big day. And, just the creepy way she's so, committed, the way she kind of just like, needles her way into Rosemary's life with like the fucking chocolate mouse, as she calls it. and the weird stinky necklace. And Rosemary's just like, well, I've never been pregnant before, so I'm not going to question any of these decisions, which is fucking crazy. And her husband's just like, come on, she put a lot of effort into it, not like
Come on.
every time I watch Rosemary's Baby, I'm like, girl, you are ignoring a fucking quilt of red flags. And but I've never been in that situation. I've never been pregnant in a city where I don't know anybody, and suddenly I have all these new friends who want what's best for me. It's a terrifying fucking movie. It's the ultimate, the jokes on you movie, and I love it to death.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece for me. 10 out of 10. I love that at midnight you can see Chinatown. Early in the morning, go see Rosemary's Baby.
Perfect.
That's great. I love that. Yeah. We won't talk about how the director is, but we'll talk about how great those movies are. Yeah, that's an excellent pick. 1968 gem. Let's see. Yeah, I'm with you. I have some movies that I wrote down that I like idolize. That same thing. That maybe the performance is good, but like you said, not a massive, massive part of the film. And I'm also going to pick something. I still love this movie. Don't get me wrong. And I love Rosemary's Baby, obviously. I love this movie as well. I've only seen it once. You and I think saw it. You saw it before I did, and then I think like maybe a month later, I found my way to it after a absolutely legendary director had passed away. Now what? Shit, already like a couple years ago. It feels like Peter Bogdanovich, Paper Moon, the 10-year-old Tatum O'Neal, 1973. Great film, and she is a vital piece to the story and a vital piece to the movie as a whole with Ryan O'Neal. Uh, it's a cool fucking movie, and everything that goes into play. She's the youngest winner at the time in a competitive category at 10 years old. I think still is, right?
Yeah, because I think Anna Paquin was 12. So yeah, I think Tatum O'Neal still has that record.
Insane. 10 years old. And she's amazing. This movie is so good, so entertaining. Great kind of like, well, here's this figure that has to take care of this other like smaller person, and let's see what fucking ensues. It's a great film, and Bogdanovich, we talked about him. He's the texture of life. He's just got it like wrapped around his finger. He knows exactly how to make a movie about people going through people things, and I'm so grateful we have all this work.
Oh, me too. Yeah, Paper Moon was something I watched on a whim and just was like stunned. I was like, this is so funny and sad and personable all at the same time. And I want this kid's, situation to work out. Like you get invested. You're like, dude, just be nice to her. Like that's all she wants is somebody to give a fuck about her. Like be that person. You don't have to be her father, but fucking be her friend just one time. Like, yeah. What a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is a great film. So yeah, I love that one too. Rosemary's Baby and Paper Moon. That's really, they're both major pieces to the film, and also just great performers in their own right. So I've been writing down the title of the movie for all of these, and then I actually wrote down Tatum O'Neal. This is my first mess up, and I'm upset. I have to cross it out, and I haven't had to cross anything out yet. Because I'm keeping this shit forever, man. This is so much fun.
Oh, yeah, I did something similar when I typed all my suggestions here, and when I was typing them last night, halfway through the acting ones, I realized I was typing the actor. And I had to backtrack and be like, no, we're picking movies here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, funny. Your mind, you get into a mindset, you can't leave it.
You got to backspace though, and now I have this ugly
That's true.
scribble.
You're in a worse situation than I was, that's for sure.
I with stuff like this, like I have all of our drafts, all of our like everything's handwritten from like heist draft to top fives to all this stuff, just because like it's gonna be really cool to look back one day and have these notebooks that just have all this fucking just shitty writing in them, and this is what it's all about, time capsules. Supporting actor. Here we go.
Well, you took Whiplash, so now I have to settle. No.
Oh, come on. Settle. Fucking Hans Landa is there.
I know, and I'm picking him.
I knew it. I knew you were. That's why I felt okay at picking Whiplash. I was like, he'll be fine. It's fine.
I had options, yeah. Yeah, there's no way we were gonna go through this without invoking Quentin Tarantino. That wasn't gonna happen. Uh,
Yep.
I was saving my Tarantino pick for this Inglorious Bastards. Christoph Waltz, the Austrian actor we never knew and now will never stop watching. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a performance, just a perfect, smarmy, almost like a Nazi Moriarty. Just this, this villain who's
I like
right,
that.
just, three steps ahead of everybody, but underestimates the real smartest guy in the room, Aldo Rain.
Hmm.
It's the accent. He heard the accent and thought, "Oh, this redneck's a slouch. I'm gonna take care of this easily." But nope, nope. Yeah, this movie's fucking gold. It's brilliant. It's endlessly rewatchable. It's so entertaining and pretty much perfect. An argument can be made it's Tarantino's masterpiece. And I tend to fall back on this one more when that discussion is had than the rest of his films, which I also love. And Waltz is a huge part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It is his masterpiece. It's the one. If you can take one to the grave, and be like, this is the best. Yeah, it's Bastards. I haven't seen Bastards in like it feels like too long. Like it feels like I'm doing it wrong. Like it's been like over a year. Like, well, what am I doing? I need to watch Bastards.
What you got to get a big German beer. You got to sit down and you got to watch Bastards. That's the year. That's you got to do that at least once a year, or else I don't know. Hitler will rise from the grave or some shit. Like you got to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to do that soon, man. I actually haven't been on a Tarantino kick. And like it feels like it's been a minute. And me, when I get on a kick of a director, it's like, well, I'm watching like almost all of them. you know?
I we did Kill Bill 2 as the second episode of the current podcast phase back in January. So that was the last time I was in Tarantino world. Um, yeah, I gotta, I was thinking about True Romance a lot lately. I might watch that one again.
Oh God, I love True Romance. Yeah, so good. Oh fuck. It's, it's a loaded category. Man, this is hard. I've narrowed it down to two. And I'm just thinking, like, well, what do I want to do here? I don't want to pick a newer movie. I want to pick something old, so I've got a couple older films I'm kind of going back and forth on. Damn, dude. I didn't think this would be this hard to just choose a movie. But one of them I can save. Yes, that's what I'll do. And the other one I cannot save. So, believe it or not, double whammy. Peter Bogdanovich. I'm choosing the Last Picture Show.
Really? Wow.
Ben Johnson, Best Supporting Actor. Um, I adore this movie. It's my favorite of what I've seen from Bogdanovich so far. There's shots in this movie that like make me emotional, and there's like little just point A to point B things that I'm like this shouldn't be. It shouldn't look this good, this real. And very few times do filmmakers like reach that place in my mind where I feel like I'm walking with them, or I'm like in the character's shoes, or I'm the guy who's telling them like, don't do that, don't do this, or hey man, like you feel like you're the one who has to kind of like hold their hand through things as an audience member, and that's like Bogdanovich has done that to me twice, and that's like very difficult. He makes me laugh a lot with some of his other stuff. The Last Picture Show is like, oof, like just kind of when the movie ends, you almost feel relieved because you're like, good God, just I don't know if I could take any more exhaustion of just hearing these people talk about their problems, and of course, of being in Texas is kind of another way to my heart. So I love this movie. I was shocked with how much I liked Ben Johnson's performance. I love everyone in this movie, but he really blew me away.
Interesting. I'm surprised you didn't go Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with this one.
Yeah, that one in Moonlight.
Yeah,
like
or
I saw,
Moonlight. Like what?
yeah, like I got to see those, and I feel like I don't know. I just as we're getting closer to the end, I'm like, I want more movies I haven't seen. That like I've only seen at home,
Okay.
and I can even say that about some of them, like like Little Miss Sunshine or Inglorious Bastards or No Country. I didn't get to see those in theaters, um, but or maybe I think I did see Bastards in theaters. I think that was my first. Yeah, what? Yeah, that was my first Tarantino in theaters.
Mine
14 years
too.
old.
Mine too.
Um, Makes sense because before that, it's like, well, what did you see? Kill Bill when you were 7? No. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, obviously, I love Moonlight to death, and I'm clearly showing my hand here because I'm not picking it for something else.
Mm.
That's why I'm like calling it by name. But I mean, I love that movie to death, and I'll never forget seeing it. I never forget every time I watch it. There's something about like that 60s, 70s, especially like Last Picture Show, the black and white. I feel like I would just fucking fold. Like I would just start crying if I watched that movie in theaters. And, I want that. I want to chase those emotions. So I don't know. I really responded to that movie when we did it on Oscar Sunday for the French Connection showdown.
Hmm.
I just really responded to it. And Sam the Lion, Ben Johnson. Sorry, I haven't said his name yet. Just a wonderful character. And anytime he speaks, you fucking listen.
Interesting. I loved the movie, but I really didn't feel much for Johnson's performance. I was
It's
hoping that it was going to go to Jeff.
Jeff Bridges, Dwayne Jackson is like so good. Sam the Lion is a pretty he does a lot with a little bit of screen time. Is I
Yep.
guess what I'll say.
True, true. And that is one I definitely would like to watch again. I loved it when I first saw it, but I know I'm gonna find more when I watch it again.
100%, man. Yeah, that's a good point. That's Paper Moon. I feel the same way. And this way we get to see two Bogdanovich films in the same day. So I'm cool with that. So day 8, Rosemary's Baby, Paper Moon, Inglorious Bastards, Last Picture Show. Awesome.
It does Bastards feels like, again, like it's like the crazy, edge kid wandered into like the Mormon party.
Uh,
But he had a
that's
great
good.
fucking time.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I like Dwayne Jackson, Sonny Crawford. Come on, like, I'm good. Oh man, that's wonderful. I mean, we could have chosen The Dark Knight.
I did have that written down.
Um, we could have. Yeah, there's other stuff. I guess I won't say. Obviously, you mentioned Whiplash, but I took that for sound on day 1, so swipe that. But yeah, again, there's so many options for supporting actor. It's very hard to narrow down. I wanted to go something kind of outside my normal box and shout out something. And also, again, this is kind of for selfish reasons. I just want to see it on the big screen. Day 9. Ooh, 2 more days. Best lead actress.
Mm.
You already know where I'm going. So, what do you got?
Yeah. I have 3 here. All 3 were one was chosen by you in the best actress heist, and the other 2 were chosen by me.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and I think I am gonna go Norma Ray.
Love that. Love that.
I didn't really, I liked Sally Field as an actress, but I didn't really appreciate her talent till I saw Norma Ray. And it's just such a powerful film about coming together for the right reasons and doing the right thing. And I'd love to see it on the big screen. I think it would set a good tone and would spotlight one of the best and most relatable best actress performances winners we've ever had.
Yeah, great pick. I figured that's where we were going. I thought you were going there or another place that maybe you're saving. So I'll say that you can still still take it in all 3. uh, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, great pick. I'm also going to stay in the 70s. Of course, I'm taking my gal Jane Fonda.
Mhm.
I'm going to go Clute. I think seeing Clute on the big screen, 1971, would be so fucking sick. Jane Fonda, her first win as Bree Daniels. She's great. I could have gone with Coming Home, but I feel like Clute on the big screen, the way the score, the sound of it, just kind of the paranoia, the Alan J. Pakula Paranoia trilogy kicks off with this one. We also have All the President's Men. Sorry, Parallax View, we can't show you, we can't screen you because you didn't win anything. But I do love how many '70s movies we have on the board, and I love that lead actress. During the day, you can see two great ladies, Sally Field, Jane Fonda, just killing it.
I always want to say Alan J. Pacula, like he's a fucking vampire or something.
That
I,
might be how you say it. I don't know. I've never like
it makes
I've
more
never like watched
Pacula makes more sense. Pacula sounds like Pac-Man
Pacula. Yeah.
vampire.
Alan J. Pacula. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I hope it's not that because otherwise I'm mocking the man. Um, but I'll find out.
Sorry, Alan.
Um,
How
but
about Al?
yeah, yeah. I figured you were going either Fonda or McDormand here, and yeah, Clute and Norma Ray is a fun fucking double feature, and that's really cool. Just strong women standing up for their beliefs right there. I love that.
Yeah, and Sally Field and Jane Fonda, two just lovable people as well. So yeah, I have no problem showing their movies during the day on day 9. Now, lead actor, what do you got?
Well, you took There Will Be Blood, which is where I was gonna go. Uh, so yeah,
Yes.
these other two are they're both fairly old. One from the '60s, one from the '70s, and if I'm picking best actor, like a performance that personifies
Come on,
the statue,
do it.
it's
Do it.
fucking
Do it.
it's Jack.
Ah,
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah.
I
Okay, well, that makes my pick easy. Okay.
if is it his finest hour? It fucking might be. RP,
Yeah, he has like 12 of those. Yeah.
but in this, he's this smarmy prick who becomes our hero because everyone else in this movie is either insane or a sadistic bitch. He's our lifeline, and he's more than happy to fill those shoes. I love it. The scene where he's like, just describing the baseball game alone
Oh, dude.
is unreal. And that was, I think, for a lot of people where they were like, Jack Nicholson's one of the greatest of all time. Like right there, he's gonna be around forever, and he's gonna be remembered as one of America's greatest cinematic exports. And I could have gone as good as it gets. I love that performance too. But this movie deserves to be part of this whole project. And I may have ruined your best picture pick, but
No. You didn't. You didn't. I'm so glad you picked this. So glad. Because yeah, you know my admiration for the book, the movie, Milos Forman, Jack Nicholson, Brad fucking Dourif. Uh, everybody, everybody's so good in it. Fucking Danny DeVito, Martini. For God's sakes, Martini. This is a dime. I bet a dime. Yeah, I love it. I love that movie. It completely ruins me every time I watch it, and but also makes me fucking cackle. It's one of those where just whoa, boom, 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 roller coaster. The baseball scene. Could we get the goddamn World Series on? Like it's Jack. Like I don't know. He's so good at kind of doing the like, who am I this time? He's so good at that like Brando style. Just like just give me like a cue and like I'll kind of go from there. So he's really good at making McMurphy his own character. Like you see him one way in the book, and he somehow elevates it to an even like greater place. He's just so fucking good at his job. So I mean I think it's a wonderful pick, and Jack might have, he might be the greatest to ever do it. I have no problem saying that. No problem with anybody else saying that. So I love that pick. I wrote that one down. I wrote another '70s film down, but I wrote down the one that I really want to pick, and that's Elmer Gantry.
thank you. That was my third. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I almost picked I might take it. So I almost picked another 70s film to keep it an all 70s day, but I was like, you know, no, I want this is the only this is it. This is the time.
Yeah.
This is the time to take Elmer Gantry. Burt fucking Lancaster, our guy, our dude. He is a revelation that we didn't discover him. You know, we knew who he was when we started Oscar Sunday, but we found out what he's all about through that show. And he became a mutual favorite for both of us through watching his films, specifically Elmer Gantry. It is maybe the greatest lead actor win of all time. And in our opinion, you know, we both think very, very highly of Daniel Day Lewis's performance in There Will Be Blood. Um, and obviously Jack Nicholson, and there's dozens that are great. But there's something about what Burt's doing, and for it being over 60 years old, what he's doing in that movie is beyond us, beyond our comprehension. So we have got to screen Elmer Gantry at the Twin Pines movie theater. It's happening.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that character is supposed to be hateable, but because it's Burt Lancaster, he can't help but be charming. He brings this likability to Elmer that you shouldn't have. You should hate this man for what he's doing. He's manipulating people. He's taking advantage of people's faith. But he's doing it like he's the fucking Music Man. It's so remarkable. It's such a layered performance. He brings like
Yeah.
personal pain to the guy where you just like you're on his side the whole time. You never once question, that he's our hero, so to speak. And that's tough to pull off, especially at a time where, films about faith were either very positive or non-existent. So yeah,
Yep.
props.
Yeah. No, it's just way ahead of its time and damn good. Not just like, oh, this was ahead of its time. Like, oh, it's advanced. Like, no, it's still really good. it's it's still like a damn good watch. So I feel like I don't know anyone who's seen Elmer Gantry outside of you. Please, like anybody out there who's listening and wants recommendations, like out of all the movies we've named, I feel like most of them are pretty well known and have been seen by a lot of people and are favorites. But Elmer Gantry is a deep cut that is so worth your time. So shout out to Burt, the man, the myth, the legend. He's awesome. Oh, so that's day 9. That might be my favorite day so far. We got Norma Ray, Clute, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Elmer Gantry. That's just awesome. That's a bit of history for the viewers. Last day, day 10. Best director.
Oh, this was so hard. To pick a film that represents the best directing effort the Academy has ever awarded. Is that even possible? I mean, the amount of incredible directors who have gotten that award for the films they've gotten. It's like, I mean, I feel like picking one is, feel like I'm kicking 10 other deserving directors off the cliff and like choosing to save this one person.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel this. I feel the same. I feel the same way.
and I'm trying to take into account here the nature of the film, the complexity of the film, the ability to translate a complex script into something palatable for the audience. And I've already I have 3 here. One of them I've already decided he ain't getting it. Sorry, but these other 2 guys, it's so hard to pick here. One of them is like, yeah, of course, and the other one's like dark horse, but makes sense if you know me at all. And shit. Mm. I'm gonna go dark horse. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Yes, yes.
John Huston, my friend.
You
Oh,
knew I was gonna pick it, so no one opens up the door for me. Thank you. Oh yes, man. Oh, is this? Oh, I love this movie.
it's fucking awesome. It's one of the greatest adventure movies of all time. And Houston is balancing so much with this movie. Filming on location, a very, a lot of difficult set pieces, a cast of playing very volatile characters, directing his father. There's a lot going on here that does not get appreciated enough. And, this film is decades ahead of its time with its violence, its its cruel nature at times, Bogart's decision to just play this so dark. And it all comes together under Houston's direction in this fantastic thriller about, gold is great until you find it.
Mm,
Like, yeah, I love that.
yeah. This movie's too good. It's way, way too good. And if I see it, I've seen it now a handful of times. If I watch it 10 more times, it's gonna become my favorite movie ever. Like you can feel that like snowball effect of like, oh my god, this is good. Oh, it's still good. Fifth time watch it, still really good. It has that effect on me, and I'm so glad you picked it. I was going to if you didn't, but now it opens up the door, and I'm like, fuck yeah, because I almost picked it for Walter for supporting actor. But I was like, no, I can save it for director, man. I can save it for director. Like we get hold on. But then I was looking, I was like, oh fuck, now I'm gonna miss out on this other movie. And so I'm with you. You're kind of you're choosing these things that you live by. These are this is our Bible. These movies. So I'm really really glad you picked it. It is a 10 out of 10 for me. Just dynamite movie. 1948, baby. That might be Wizard of Oz, and then that I think those are the two oldest movies in the era. So the oldest movies we've got here.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hell
Beautiful.
yeah, love that. We need some of that shit. We need some of that grainy 40s shit that's
Yeah.
just magic.
I want to hear the fucking projector whirring while I'm watching these movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I want an inexperienced 20-year-old to fuck up the reel because they've never had to use this machine before.
Yeah, like, oh shit, sorry. Yeah. We don't need those stinking badges. Oh man. Thank you. I like a weight just got lifted off of me because now I can take one of my favorite movies of all time and still have my best picture spot. And I'm taking The French Connection, William Friedkin.
Yep.
Oh yes.
I had that written down as well. And the other one I was really considering was Saving Private Ryan.
Ooh, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that, Mr. Spielberg there.
Yeah, that's to me that's like the definition of best director is, Omaha Beach in Saving Private Ryan. But so I don't know what it is, an internal pull that's like, oh, Houston, come on.
Yeah, let's go with John. Go with John. Well, and we come full circle here. Now uh we've got Rango, Chinatown, and Treasures of Sierra Madre, John Houston, baby.
That's
Oh,
beautiful. Yeah,
yeah.
I figured Friedkin was gonna be your guy. French Connections, yeah.
If you would have picked anything else, I was taking Sierra. I'm not leaving that on the table. Like I like Sierra more than French Connection. I'm not leaving it on the table. It's going to show up on this calendar. So I'm really glad you took it. And now we get French Connection, and it opens up for more possibilities for Best Picture picks. This is fantastic. I'm elated. Which brings us to our Best Picture picks, the last two picks of this project.
Oof. All right. So I misspoke. I did have one overlap film that's already been chosen for I had Parasite as one of my choices for Best Picture. And
Okay, that's
and for
fair.
Best International.
International and best. Yeah. Okay.
Um the other two have not been chosen. Uh and one of them's kind of obvious. So but admittedly so is the other one. But
Hmm.
to leave that on the table would betray everything I've come to think that I am as a film buff. So I'm gonna have to take that. Have the lambs stopped screaming, Clarice?
Yes.
The
Oh.
Silence of the Lambs. The only horror film ever to do it, ever to take the top prize. Probably ever will take the top prize. And it's perfect. It's absolute thrills from start to finish. Fantastic characters, amazing screenplay based on an amazing book. Freaky, terrifying, unforgettable, perfect fucking movie.
Ah. Okay. This is what I thought you were going to take for a director.
Mm,
So I thought you were going to take Demi. So I was like, man, what is he gonna pick? And then I was like, is he gonna go Return of the fucking King for picture? And I was like, no, he wouldn't do that because we haven't screened the other two.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then once you picked Sierra Madre, I was like, oh hell yeah, he's taking lambs for picture. This is so cool. I love like I'm just like watching it play out. And yeah, this feels right for you. This feels right. You picked Lambs, Rosemary's Baby, Exorcist. I'm counting Parasite because it's so fucking genre.
Yeah.
Jaws
Yep.
and American Werewolf in London. Fuck you. you know, that's like a major fu to the Academy. Like, I'm gonna take all of the horror movies. Really, the only one that's on the table is Get Out that you haven't taken, and you couldn't because I mean, you could have done it for, I guess, original screenplay, but you want a little bit of sunshine, so fuck off. I love that. I love how you've made room. You've carved out room to make sure that horror and genre films are represented here. So you taking Lambs, a 10 out of 10, a big 5 winner, for your final pick is poetic. I love it.
I love that, man.
And I wrote down 4 for here. Sorry, 5. 3 of them have been taken. 1 by you, 2 by me. So I have 2 left. One of them is Amadeus.
Really?
It's obviously not what I'm picking because I'm, saying that. I think this movie would be so fucking amazing to see on the big screen. What a fucking, like the scale of this bastard. It is captivating as hell.
It was playing at my draft house last month.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that would be incredible.
Yeah, I should have done. I should have fucking gone to that.
Yeah, and it's long, but man, it really is just like it's a movie, and it is by far my favorite '80s Best Picture winner. I think it rules. Like or am I forgetting something? No, Amadeus is definitely my favorite by far. There's not a lot of great '80s winners, but yeah, I feel like Amadeus is clearly the 1984 is clearly the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. You know what I'm taking. Leave the gun, take the cannoli, The Godfather. Come on. That's what where I was going. Like, come on. We left these on the table on purpose. It's the last pick. It's the greatest goddamn movie ever. It's The Godfather. This will be the final movie we screen at our theater, and that makes sense.
Yep, that's the one I left where I'm like, is it too obvious? But no, it's appropriate.
No, fucking A, man. Come on. And I don't feel weird like having that and not screening Godfather Part 2 because it stands on its own so fucking well. We talked about this a lot last week. They're both like perfect. Yeah. But The Godfather, the first one, really holds its own. Like you can watch it on like by itself and be okay, Whereas Lord of the Rings, it's like I can't. I just can't do it. Like I can't. I have nothing. There's nothing in me where I watch Fellowship and I'm like, all right, like I'm not gonna watch Two Towers for like a year. Like that just doesn't happen, Yeah. But The Godfather has its own strength that it stands on. It's got such a good ending.
Yeah, no arguments here. It's lightning in a bottle that somehow Coppola was able to capture twice and then fucking dropped the jar on the third one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie is, it's considered the greatest of all time for a reason. Just watch it. Like I haven't met anyone who didn't like it. I think there's a lot of people who say they didn't like The Godfather so they can try to be the smartest guy in the room. But I don't think you're being honest with yourself. I mean,
fuck those guys. Yeah.
You watched it, like sat there and actually paid attention, and you didn't fall in love. You didn't get, stuck in the Corleone family web. My ass, you didn't. Yeah. It makes sense for this to be the one that caps off this whole thing.
Yeah. When people talk shit about The Godfather, or like, it's not for me. I just want to quote Michael because it insults my intelligence and makes me very angry. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Take it over there. Don't bring that shit over here. The Godfather is fucking masterpiece. It's excellent. And My God, we have some amazing movies here. I'm looking at it like here on my notebook, and I'm like, wow, what have we created? you know, 10 days of we would be at every single one. It'd be that kind of thing. It'd be a 10-day just fucking rally. Um, I mean, shit. What do we do? We recap. Do we like?
I
that was
think
so cool.
I think we should go through and like reveal what we didn't choose, like our honorable mentions. I think that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
we can whip through those real quick. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Visual effects.
I had Independence Day
Okay.
and Fellowship of the Ring.
I had Space Odyssey, 2001, obviously. Alien
Mm.
and The Matrix.
Nice, very nice.
Sound.
I had Jurassic Park and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool
Yeah.
as fuck. Um, I had I just had Whiplash written down and Sound of Metal.
Mm. Yeah, good one.
Sound of Metal was also kind of like that went straight to Prime.
Yeah.
Um, it was not it's again at the height of the pandemic type thing, so it didn't get to have its day in the theater, and I feel like it'd be a great theater movie. Costume design.
Costume design. I had Black Panther and A Man for All Seasons.
Ooh, okay, interesting pick there. I haven't seen that yet, so that'd have been interesting.
It's really good. Everyone's fucking insane except one guy who's like, "Will you people just calm the fuck down?" And they don't.
And they don't. I picked, yeah, what did I pick? The Heiress. I only had the other movie I had written down, and I would have picked it, but I don't know if you had seen it, so I didn't want to pick it. Is Gate of Hell,
I haven't.
1953.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, costumes in that movie fucking slap. It's amazing that that's like a 70-year-old movie, or yeah, it is 71 years old. It looks fantastic. So I wanted to pick it for that, but I also I don't know. I didn't want to take movies that we weren't both like into. Makeup and hairstyling.
I had The Fly and
Yeah,
Terminator 2.
nice. I had The Fly and Mad Max Fury Road.
Good one.
One of my favorite theater experiences. So like reliving that would have been fucking sick. Production design.
I had Batman
Yeah,
and
me too.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Ooh, I like that. I had a lot for this one. I had Gaslight,
Oh,
The Red Shoes,
nice.
The Hustler,
Ha.
Batman, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
God damn, that is a great list.
Yeah, I wrote too many for some of them. It's like
I
it's just I
like,
love I love the way all those movies feel. Like just the Red Shoes would be sick in theaters.
I had to tell myself get three.
Yeah, just stop. Cinematography.
I had 1917 and
Yeah.
the Revenant.
Ooh, yeah. Emmanuel Lubezki, my guy, who won 3 in a row.
Mm.
I had written down, of course, There Will Be Blood. And then I had Days of Heaven, but I didn't think you had seen it.
Nope.
Old school Malick, where there's like actually a story. And Roma, shot by Alfonso Cuarón.
Very nice.
Score or song. Sorry, song.
Song, I had the Ballad of High Noon and I had Skyfall.
Nice. I had Streets of Philadelphia. From Philadelphia, and I had and High Noon. So I just wrote those two down. That's it.
I don't know if I'd want to go see Philadelphia. I don't know if I could do that.
Me neither. Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, I'm going High Noon. What am I saying? Yeah. Yeah. Philadelphia's not like, oh, here we go to the theater. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't eat a burger and watch Philadelphia.
Best score.
I had The Lion King.
Ooh, nice.
And Return of the King.
There you go. I only wrote down Social Network. I knew the whole time. I was like, that doesn't really matter. But I do love the other one that I probably would have thought about is Brokeback Mountain.
Ah, yeah.
Love that score. Documentary.
Documentary. Yeah, I had Undefeated and Navalny because I'm not picking the fucking Walt Disney Prairie Dog movie.
I wrote down only 2 music documentaries because I think it'd be really cool to have like loud music playing in the theater. That's Woodstock, which I picked, and the other one is Amy, the Amy Winehouse doc that came out like 9 years ago.
Mm.
Film editing.
Film editing. I had uh The Matrix and
Nice.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Good. Nice. Nice. I had On the Waterfront
Mm.
and The Apartment.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, picking Z over those was tough, but yeah, I think Z is just superior in that category. Animated.
Animated.
We kind of talked about this, but
Yeah,
yeah,
The Incredibles and Coco.
yeah. And I only wrote down Rango, but I probably Spirited Away would probably be my next pick just because it's unique. And then The Incredibles. Yeah, God, that'd be sick. I don't remember that theater experience at all. Being 9,
Yeah.
seeing The Incredibles. I know I did. That's like what you do as a kid in the United States. You go see Pixar movies, but
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember seeing Finding Nemo. But I can't recollect
The earliest one I
Incredibles.
can remember is Ratatouille. I remember going to see. I know I saw The Incredibles. I know I saw Cars. I know I saw Nemo, but I have no memory of it. But I remember seeing Ratatouille.
Yeah. International.
International. I had Z and I had Another Round.
I had Day for Night. Oh, that's what I picked. Rashomon, Bicycle Thieves, and Another Round. Yeah. Another Round rules. Let's see. Adapted screenplay.
All right. So in addition to The Exorcist, I had Brokeback Mountain and
Okay.
I had All About Eve.
Yeah, dude. I had that in director. Yeah, All About Eve rules.
Yeah.
Adapted, I had Moonlight and No Country, which I picked. So yeah, that's it.
Huh.
Original screenplay.
Yeah. Chinatown, Pulp Fiction, Little Miss Sunshine.
I had Pulp Fiction, Chinatown, Citizen Kane. Yeah. Yep. Supporting actress.
In addition to Rosemary's Baby, I had Chicago
Okay.
and The Aviator.
Ooh, nice. Nice. That's a cool call. Chicago is Catherine Zeta or
Yeah, Catherine Zeta.
yeah, Catherine Zeta Jones. She's gorgeous. I had so I picked Paper Moon. I also wrote down Rosemary's Baby, and then I wrote down Kramer vs. Kramer and Marriage Story.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Kramer vs. Kramer was out of like I think Meryl Streep's really good in it, but it was more like I just want to see this movie. Yeah. Supporting actor.
I had J.K. Simmons, Whiplash, and I had The Dark Knight.
Okay. I had wait, what'd you take? Oh, Christoph Waltz. I had a lot written down. Now there's a lot of overlap here. I had Moonlight written down, Whiplash, Bastards, No Country, Unforgiven, All the President's Men, Last Picture Show, and Sierra Madre. Unforgiven, that would be so cool on the big screen. Unforgiven, just epic scale. Fucking Gene Hackman, baby. Lead actress.
I had Fargo, and I had Who's
Yeah.
Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
I like that. That's a good one.
Really stuck.
So you didn't think about Children of the Lesser God.
I guess not. I had to limit it, and I think
Yeah.
I think I knew in my heart I was gonna go with Sally.
Yeah. So I just wrote down Jane Fonda, and I could have picked Coming Home or Clued. Yeah. So
That adds up. Yeah.
lead actor.
I had Daniel Day-Lewis, There Will Be Blood, and I had Elmer Gantry, Burt Lancaster.
I had Daniel Day-Lewis, Burt Lancaster, and Denzel Washington for Training Day.
Yep. I thought about him for sure.
That would just be so sick. That movie rules. Director.
I had where is it? Shit. Okay. I had Friedkin for The French Connection and Spielberg for Saving Private Ryan.
Okay. And you took
Houston.
Sierra Madre. Okay. Again, a lot of overlap here. I had Parasite, Roma, No Country for Old Men, French Connection, All About Eve, Sierra Madre, Sounds of the Lambs, and Amadeus. Just like options. And then Best Picture.
The Godfather, and Parasite, and I chose Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. I picked The Godfather. but I also had written down I was determined to have No Country on this, so I had it in every category possible. Amadeus, One Flew Cuckoo's Nest, and French Connection. Love it.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so much fun, dude. This has been a blast. This kind of like this run of like Oscar related episodes, but this was the most fun because at the end of the day, we're just talking about movies. That's what we do on Filmgazm in general. Just celebrate shit that we love. So it's safe to say that if this 10-day thing happened, Connor and I would not have a life. We would be at the theater for 12 hours every day, spending way too much money. But if we owned it, who cares? We're making the money, Uh, one day, man, one day it's a dream of ours to be able to at least have a hand in kind of what gets picked and what gets selected to be screened at a theater. That'd be so much fun, especially a theater that's dedicated to past cinema, which is what we're most passionate about. So this has been a blast. The Oscars are in 2 days, man. 2 days until we have more winners that can be added to projects like this.
Beautiful. I'm excited. I love this shit. It's my Super Bowl. This is been counting down the days. I've watched as much as I can. I've never cleaned out a ceremony like this before. I didn't get the full sweep. Fucking one documentary tripped me up, but you know what? I got to everything else. Everything, including all the
Yeah.
shorts. I'm proud of that.
You're right there. Yeah. So cool. I love that. I'm really glad you just stuck to it and just fucking went for it. I think it's awesome. Uh, I'm sure after the weekend is over, Monday morning, we'll probably have a Oscar recap episode. After we watch the show, we'll just do some general thoughts. And then what's on Wednesday?
We're recording this a week prior, so I believe that is going to be As Above, So Below with
Nice.
Mysia. So
Oh, I like that one.
yeah, she gave me a list and was like, "How about any of these?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, let's do that." And so we're gonna talk about the Dante's Inferno, Paris Catacombs, ghost horror Philosopher's Stone movie. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that movie is underrated. I like that one. I remember you and I did that a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like right when we were starting out to do the random picks. And that was one of our first ones, and we were both like, "Fuck, this was good."
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. Awesome. So yeah, we got some good stuff. Everybody enjoy the weekend. Watch the Oscars. Just try. Just give it a go. Even if you tune in for just a couple hours out of the fucking four, it's okay. Just try it out. Watch the movies. A lot of them are now available rent or streaming or whatever. Give them a go. It's a pretty good Best Picture group. Connor and I are very excited just to see who gets on that stage and gets to be a part of Oscar history. So we'll hopefully see you guys Monday and definitely see you Wednesday. But for now, keep watching movies. We'll see you soon.